played a pub in probably multiple months coming into this. It's going to get even crazier.
I mean, I was watching Ninja stream as you were right before we jumped in here on Mixer, and he was talking. He said, "Oh yeah, I forgot. We have all the C4 to mess with and all these other things. So really trying to figure out what it is that they're going to play with is going to be super interesting for sure, for sure."
100%. So that's going to unplay or play out ahead of us for the rest of the time. But we are obviously going to get ready for game number 2 and also thinking about necessarily standings. I think it's definitely going to be Zexro, Macwood, and Count coming out on top right now.
Abdul, what is your YouTube name? What is your
Yeah, for
YouTube
sure.
name?
I mean, when we do finally get to take a look at that, it's gonna tell us a lot. It's gonna tell us about play styles, and as you can see, we'll be right back after this short break, though.
22,000 people watching on Mixer. Six minutes. Okay, let's watch streamers.
Wherever
Jesus.
Ninja goes,
It's actually 7 minutes until it starts.
Why do they do that?
Yeah,
I mean, they said
65
after the
million
last game 10
viewers
minutes
only
or
in the
less, but I guess they just have
Mixer.
to. I mean, they're
He
probably
has
trying to get the leaderboard.
for 1 year,
Yeah.
yeah. Alright.
But we'll be aiming to have the time between games total 10 minutes or less. Probably like 2 minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You good? This format is fucking AIDS. This format's fun. What's wrong with the format? 1 point per kill, and then it's not that placement heavy. You can get enough kills.
Can run.
You know how you swam away to the other island? Funk literally had an angle on me. I mean, you had an angle on Funk, I mean.
He was on the roof.
No, he swam behind me and killed me from behind.
Oh.
You could have killed Funk.
Oh yeah, bro. If that guy doesn't come, we win that.
Yeah.
Bro. You're about to res me.
Yeah, I was about to res you. I literally died because Funk flanked me. If you literally watched my back unknown, you would have won that. No, it's fine. That's so crazy how we would have won that either way. They're so bad for that. Are you gonna have that much HP and we literally are all
Oh,
white?
yeah, they had full roof control and almost lost.
What,
bro.
Abdul? There is a clan called VEN-Clan.
The other guy peeked. I just did like 30.
You know how lucky Nate Hill
Huh?
got to kill you, Assault? He literally.
Back for Ewok.
Why? They almost win.
No, not that.
Why?
You know what I'm talking about. Like, she streams and she can't even talk to her stream.
Who?
Ewok.
Oh yeah, that girl.
I'll run I'll run floppers next game.
Yeah.
Good.
I'll go aggro on you.
That is like a. Can you send me your stream?
What do you mean? You're streaming?
Yeah, but I can't see it. 2 people watching me. Whoa, I'm famous.
Someone said, watch Booga only, please. Switch to other teams when Booga dies. Watch Booga, watch Booga. We got you. You gonna watch Booga, baby? Watch Booga. The dude wants Booga.
Booga is right here.
It's so dumb.
chef moment right here.
Liquid strike.
What is he doing? He's spamming MP4s. Like,
Bro, the whole people die MP4s and grenade, Abdul.
oh, exactly.
There's literally
Oh, you were.
I literally, for some reason want to just like.
all the people they died to and
Just with one
grenade and P9 P4
Bro.
P90.
You're just supposed to do that.
2 more minutes.
Should I just post all my selfies in general chat real quick?
Yo, Abdul, can you?
Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna add Nate Hill and ask him how to up my
What do you want?
You think we're gonna get kicked mid-tourney?
At Nate Hill, any suggestions on how to up my selfie game?
Someone deleted it. Oh.
Why does he have that jersey on? Can you screenshot that shit? Like the top guap comment?
Yeah.
Yo, Abdul, can you?
I'm gonna add Nate Hill and ask him.
Oh, he's typing.
He said, "Hey memers, let's chill again."
Is that Ghoul?
Why does he have a Sen jersey on?
Dude, chill. You just elite.
Oh my god, my bad.
Okay, back. I think Canada and they're gonna win.
If we get those Endgame, it's just like one layer of everybody healing off. We just throw it down. You get.
They're gonna start it, bro.
Yeah.
Only 66 people, the whole lobby.
And like inside the vault, there's so many C4s usually.
Wait, Kanata, do you want to heal it or frag?
I think I should heal. Cause
Okay,
you guys
yeah,
are.
and then
I
I'll
feel
go
like
frag.
I feel like I can tarp really well, while you guys can just full frag with you and I.
Yeah. I'm down for that.
You don't tarp.
I mean, not tarp, but you know what I'm saying. Like full like IGL and just like tell us where to go and be in positions, while you guys just fucking get on kids at the same time.
You don't need any of that.
Hey,
Well,
3,
you know, like,
2,
no, like who shoot
4, 5, 6. Boom, we are right back.
Battles event after that short break. And Ball, I never thought I'd say this, but I'm so happy to see your face again.
Me too, man. You saved me now because yeah, it was you were gone for a while, so let's just leave it at that. It was fun though, and you're back now. We get to see that beautiful smile of yours, and we get to talk more about some Fortnite action. Lots of the buzz on social media right now is pretty exciting to see. We're getting summer skirmish vibes.
Abdul, those guys, you watch my stream?
That's what I'm saying, man. We're going back to
Those
good old
guys are rich,
nostalgia
bro.
Days of Fortnite, man, when we get to kind of see the best go toe to toe. I mean,
Them,
it's
the
last
guys
time we saw
who
72 hours, right, in a competition again, and Vivid, right, and all these good old names, good old rivalries kind of sparking up, and those are our favorite kind of Fortnite personalities too, right?
I'm waiting to see Zayt launchpad in the zone and start going like this, man. Find a campfire somewhere and just like 15 med kits or something like that. That'd be spectacular. I don't think we're gonna see it today, but man, this is gonna be fun. Like we get our first taste, and we're gonna see it time and time again with this player pool.
They
I
are.
can't imagine that a game like that will not be as exciting as that time. And
Bro,
time
they
again.
have in their house the
Yeah, I mean,
office,
here's another
gaming
interesting part.
room,
Looking way past
everything.
today's event and just in general, you're looking at Zexro, Calc, and Mac would come back and showing that they have not.
VEN-Vendetta,
synergy,
what the
right,
fuck
as a
is that?
trio,
Ven
a top
clan, you should
trio
have just
team,
put it on
and
the...
we're leading into what would be right like trio season. So they're showing that they still have it. If you were wondering before, I mean, questions are being answered here.
I mean, you might ask about the synergy for them, and it definitely is not clear when you look at that trio from an outside perspective looking in, but clearly you're right. The chemistry that's still there in game, at least when it matters. And thinking about that history, yeah, we already talked about they were champions for the last time we played trios in competitive Fortnite, but also second place in squads too. So don't forget that. And that was in Chapter 2. That was with the Fish as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's going to happen. It's only time will tell to see what happens in Season 3 if things really shake up and all of a sudden kind of messes up the team dynamic. But for what it's worth, we are looking at this competition. Things are looking kind of good. I kind of dropped out there for a second, so I got to see how things unfolded. So we're gonna take a look at the leaderboard in just a bit here, so that you can kind of get me caught up. Because if there's anyone who needs it, it's me right now. Let's see where the players are standing here, Bala.
At the top, it is Zexro, Macwood, and Kalk, but Cease, Creo, and Bucky are not too far away. And then, of course, the winners of game number 1, Jared FPS, Tilt, and Innocence have 12 points too. So, I mean, looking down that board, 1 point spread between top 3, even going further, it is a tight race here, even down to 10th, Monster.
My gosh, and a single Elan being a point differentiator maker. So when you see those players with 11 points and all the other ties up there, that just shows you how close. It's literally an elimination separating the difference of all the players here. Very, very impressive.
Oh, 16th place?
Your last place here. I didn't expect to see players like Cypher, PK, Hogman, and Benny back there.
They got 0. Cypher PK got 0 points.
Shining in these heal off metas, but hey, it's trio dynamic. Things kind of do mix up, and
they got 0 points. They all the way at the down.
Over
17.
Game 1, I think Cypher found the key to that meta in that tournament way back when, after game 1. So we'll see. Maybe he switches things up, turns on that 3000 IQ brain of his, and starts to get the gears rolling, because only 1 game so far. There's still 4 more for him today, and that's not even mentioning the sessions down the line. But today for Cypher to really come back.
Yeah, Booga's on 8. They're doing good.
Thinking about where
they may win this.
They
Yeah,
had the opportunity to really take out Vivid and Ninja Squad overall, right on top of them, if you remember that. But then coming off of the rotate, they just didn't necessarily have the tools they needed to move forward off of that.
Yeah, take me through that. Like, I remember when I tuned in, I saw Ninja's team in the mid ground kind of holding things down. And that,
so Ninja is playing
in their benefactor, or was it more of like a low ground game?
Abdul, is he playing?
We know who had hype, but how was it for
Ninja
player dynamic for players in the mid ground?
Yeah, it was interesting.
Ninja
so
and them was
how that happened. Cypher PK and his team came from the chopper all the way up from Craggy Cliffs, around where Macward and them were, and they posted up on a mountain south of Misty. Right, and Ninja's team tried to get towards that mountain through Misty, but then they ended up getting in a scuffle between 2 sides. They got a couple eliminations on one side, but Cypher was right above.
We're gonna watch Booga. Hold on.
A little bit of chaos for them on the rotation in.
I see that, and that is going to lead us up into game number 2, guys. The battle bus is already loading up here. Players are jumping into the island, so things are going to start unfolding just here shortly. I mean, like you said, choppers coming into play, different loot pools coming into play here. This is what it's all about. Game number 2 is just around the corner, Bala. If there's someone you want to put your money on, who you kind of feeling with right now?
So I think that Zexro, Macwood, and Kalk had the good game plan going into game 1, but I think that they might be challenged a little bit more. I think that we saw Stretch and Booga kind of go in that mid-ground thing that they're known for, not really challenged to go up and play for that. So for now, I'm still sticking with Zexro, Macwood, and Kalk, unless they have some difficulties off spawn, because they are fighting someone there, and I think that might be one of the few teams that is fighting somebody.
Ooh, that is going to be interesting. I mean, from what I know of their landing drop spot, they do tend to kind of favor up on the back half and play for the kegs there. So when it comes down to optimizing in their route, they kind of got this down pat. They've been doing it season after season. We'll see if the ops crew decides to follow
no
in with
problem,
the
bro.
right now, as we are loading into
make sure you like this stream, subscribe if you're new.
This is a favorable bust for them right now, as players are already jumping up. And remember, the lobbies are a little thinner, so there is plenty of real estate
Look
for
at how
any of
many
these competitive players to kind of grab at.
And with that thin lobby, you see the opportunities that are available.
M-Bot,
we saw
SMG.
one team heading towards Craggy Cliffs, so the first game it did go
oh my god.
in favor of Macwood and company.
Bro, this is a Nick Hill. Ninja and them, they're going. Ninja wearing his skin.
Towards the south side of the map, there's going to be a hot fight at the Shark Monster.
Oh, dude, nine players. It's 3 separate teams. It looks like it's kind of crazy.
Nick Hill is good, Abdul. He's one of my top.
Just looking at Kanata's HP, it looks like he gets tagged.
Oh my god, Unknown.
Gonna get bested right there for
Unknown got killed.
His Unknown Army looks like he gets chipped right out and finished there by Bully. So Bully wrapping things up, and now all of a sudden, Unknown's team is on the back foot with Kanata not having much HP. It's only up to him and Assault to see if they can pull something big together. Who knows if they're even gonna be able to grab the reboot card, right?
What up, Skill?
Difficult scenario for them. Kanata and Assault now against 3. they could make it work, especially as they've gotten a lot of space down inside of the penitentiary here at the Shark. Though how much is that space worth it when you have 3 players up on top and starting to
Okay,
pinch
we're gonna
down
show
through the
you
different
Buga's
towers
stream
and get the different angles, but
in couple
the other
seconds.
thing to note is where
We wanna
is
see who's
Sky?
gonna win.
Right above Assault there, you can see the outline of her
Oh my god.
skirts. And are they actually going to contest for that? Kanata's actually making his way out. I think Assault might have the opportunity to grab that and bounce. Though, that could definitely be something that Nate Hill and Bully Funk are looking out for.
Yeah, definitely. You see Nate Hill is being very attentive to the outer surroundings, trying to see what he can kind of gather as far as intel goes. But Assault is trapped inside. It might have just been a call like, hey, listen, I'm going to have to leave you behind here. You hide out, right? And keep a low profile while I get my heal on and see if I can bounce back. But Assault
He's gone.
He's going to skate out of there. Yeah, he's gone.
He grabs the boat and gets out.
Cypher.
Cypher, PK, Benny, and Hogman switch things up as well, coming down over towards the weather tower in the southeast of the map, and they're on to Zypha, who was here last game, so maybe a path that Zypha did not expect. Now he's in a little bit of trouble behind that metal wall. I don't think he has any builds left.
Make sure you
So
like
has
the
to take
stream.
bloom
You
fight. He
feel
does
me?
go down, but now
Share
he's
if you
taking
want.
a lot of damage on the Benny.
You can share.
That just shows that the natural elevation here is going to play such a huge benefit in the early game. And my gosh, just look at the wide spread right here. Avery coming in from way off to the yonder behind the mountain on the side. So really trying to get their kind of gathering their loot together, and just being that far apart is not going to play in their benefit so early into the game. I mean, coming in, we saw Cypher and crew with 0 points.
Avery is
Already
playing.
changing up the strategy, already on track here to at least start gaining some kind of momentum in the game right now. And here they have that chopper. Oh, they're all committing. I think they're gonna push on over, and yeah, I mean, it's 3v1. What can you really do if you're Avery right now? Here comes the whole squad. They're gonna jump out, hit him from all the angles right now. Avery tries his best to defend it up, but yep, it's not gonna be much as he gets taken out.
What do you do when you see a full squad like that rolling up to you with the chopper? It looks like you just give up, says Avery. He was in his box. He did a little bit of damage, but they make it out away. And where is, I think Ewok was taken out earlier when Zypha was taken out. So full squad wipe there. Going in the way of Cypher, Hogman, and Benny. The first one on this game. And then Nate Hill, Bully, and Funk, I still think, chasing down Kanata and Assaults. You asked the question earlier if they got the card, and I'm wondering if that comes out to fruition or not.
It's true. Here, Cypher, Benny,
Yo,
Hogman
Oscar,
end up
can you
taking the
watch
chopper
Booga
right
for
back over to
goddamn?
kind of get their farm on. You saw
Watch
just
Booga.
based off of how much
Yeah, watch
material they have
Booga.
right now. They essentially just grabbed it.
Oh
and
my
really
god,
double
Booga,
teamed the
Booga,
team nearby,
he...
so wiping
he's
up
not
Ewok
even-
in the crew. Now they have this entire kind of real estate to themselves. Zone is looking like it's going to favor them right now. You can see, shout out to the crew in the back throwing up the handles. It's Monster D-Face and Ball TW here on the mic, delivering the game 2 right now here for the Ninja Battles.
Booga has a song. I'm gonna get it copyrighted.
Is that commandment? Oh, what the hell?
Dude, we have 12 right now.
We have 4 minutes until zone comes.
Could we also look
I'm
for
gonna go deep
some?
south.
Could we grab a boat and go down to
You, like,
ping?
3 fish. Do you have an open slot?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, if you're still watching, say something in the chat.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on going down to pink and getting fish for the boat?
Down for that.
Actually, yeah, we could. We definitely could.
I know that's very good. Is there a boat on you?
Yeah, there's a boat here.
Okay.
My man, Young. What's up, Young Mo? Oscar, why do you have the world?
Got a flopper?
That part.
I just
Yeah,
took it
spot
and
if there's
just
more
used it.
fishing holes. I can fish.
I didn't have a profile.
I
picture
only
to
have
use.
attack.
I have 2
I have
medkits
attack
right now.
and AR.
I'm attack with 3
We
nades.
wanna see
could
more
trade them
action.
with them.
Start going south.
We're gonna come back for Booga. We want some more action to happen, so there's like they're fighting over here.
Angles is chat. It's coming in from the mountain, and now it's looking like they're getting
Well,
choked out here
14 minutes
side by
already
side.
for one game. What the fuck is
And that positional play there from Chap, Scoped, and Crew. is definitely
the
gonna pay
worst
off
Chapman.
dividends. They stay wide, and now they've got them stuck down in a box below. Scope gonna get in from the bottom side, phases up, but Maddie gets on top of the stairs. There's the final elim. And where is
Oh
the
no.
last player? It's gonna be the shakedown.
Oh no, he still has his
You
iPhone.
gotta appreciate it too, right? Like the way trio battling dynamic works out. It's something we haven't seen in a while. And
One
these
guy
guys
got
have
knocked
executed
over there all the way.
perfectly, coming in with the suffocation tactics, left, right, and forwards, singling out each player one by one.
It's funny too because like the shakedown mechanic when we think about chapter 2, it was added in season 2. And so we really haven't seen a mode where it's been super useful. Obviously in duos, yes, you can shake down, but typically when you're in that duo fight, you're going to know where the other player is. Here in squads and trios, there's definitely a little bit more splitting going on. Teams sending a player out on a little scouting mission up ahead. So things could be different here. And the shakedown mechanic actually might have some value.
It looks super valuable in that battle. And you saw when they did the shakedown as a 3-man crew, they stood in the box. Just think about the little kind of interactions and the way it plays out, being able to protect one another while the kind of timer goes down for it. But regardless,
Bro, everybody,
one of the Gen G girls,
some of the people are carrying grenade and P90.
Successful.
So 2 elims for Chapman's squad, and they were up there in terms of the leaderboard. Not at the very top 3, but still making it work. Stammy's, who was fighting, Stammy's ship and crew, who were fighting against Zaxor Macwood at Craggy Cliffs, have now moved and shifted over to Steamy Stacks, and we look over at who I believe this is Scented, taking some of the yachts. And didn't we see them earlier somewhere else? Because that split is ridiculous if that's the case.
When we talk about it,
Thanks
they're getting
for
more and more
showing.
comfortable as the game goes on. I feel like, you know, this happens every competition. You kind of feel the lay of the land.
Oh
Once
shit.
you
Oh,
figure it
okay.
all out, that's where the optimization comes in.
I
Some
hope they
players now
change it to
getting more and more comfortable with
Booga.
the realistic spreading out.
Yeah.
There goes the rest of the crew here. Riverson and Edgy now playing the outer sides here. We might see a little bit of a collision between these two teams as they are.
Okay, now let's watch Booga. Nothing is happening.
Did someone light that campfire?
Yeah.
I need to take, like, 2 ticks.
My like healing loadout is insanely stacked right now. 3 floppers, 10 bandies, 3
There might
serps.
be more holes down here that they didn't fish.
Yeah, true. There's 2 teams landing here. I don't think they would. Can you even pop bandies late game? Like how many can you pop? Like 3? From 100 HP?
Yeah, probably like 3 or 4. Probably not enough. I think you can only pop 3 because there's like that second interval where you need to take your flopper and shit. So like,
Yeah.
I'd definitely rather hold bandies over this.
Wait, do you think there's a strat? Whoever's, I mean, to go far. This is a bad zone.
Yeah.
What's your guys' map?
I'm like 10, 2.5, 6.5.
Okay, I'm 3
I
2
have max.
to 3.
I'm holding nades now. I have 6 nades. But
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
I'm just gonna hold nades over C4 for now. So we can triple nade a team, maybe get fish. Oh, there's bandies right here actually.
I can hold mine.
Yeah.
I'm 7, 4, 3. I got like no money. Oh, kids here, kids here.
Oh,
Right
next
beside
to us. Yo, go for a beam. Go for a beam.
Yes, sir.
3 2 on that kid. 3 2 on him.
Okay, ready? 3,
I can't really.
That kid is really bad. Stretch, he padded.
Oh,
He
he
padded.
padded.
Yeah, he's solo.
Cracked him. 54.
I think that's you all.
23 white.
Let's go.
23
Let's go.
white off him.
And we have a helicopter. We have a helicopter.
Okay.
We need to kill this person before they take the helicopter.
They're gonna go for it.
Shoot the front of it. Shoot the front of it. I don't have AR. Oh, there's no way.
Just gonna destroy it.
Yeah. That's such a grief. He died. He died. Tina raised.
Salute.
Yeah.
There's still kids in Misty.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hopefully she has fish.
Six nades.
Already
Should I
have
drop
6.
10 bandies for them? We could get
no,
a.
no. Hold on.
Alright.
Or no, hold bandies. I mean,
Google,
bandies, right?
how many floppers do you have?
I have 3.
Yo, keep wrapping far northeast. We need to wrap around and come in from north side.
I've 8 flop.
Bro, it might be worth.
No, hold bandies, because I already have 6 nades.
Right.
And then bandies are good for heal up because you can pop them with floppers and it just makes them more like better.
Yeah, we could also get like a hard refresh shot behind you.
We're not gonna need a refresh.
Yeah, I know. Good for kill points, maybe.
I already have 6 though. If we just like do good nades, it's gonna get a kill regardless.
Yeah. Or bandies I can hold. Nice.
I'm there for a big bot. I need a big bot.
Wait, plane coming south?
Don't worry about it, just follow me. Keep coming northeast.
Oh.
They're like light above us.
Yeah, I don't know.
Can they shoot at us?
If people and passengers can. Where are they?
They're coming like right above us.
Are they that high up? Like, I don't even see it.
They're in lazy.
Oh, they're in lazy. Jesus Christ.
You
It's probably commandment. Or I mean, Fizzle, sorry.
Yeah.
They literally crashed on the hill. Keep going more north. We want to come on.
Setting up shop. Ninja does not have any shield though. He's trying to gather up himself here. And it's tough for him right now.
Definitely tough. They're in a pinch between the zone and another team on the front side of this. This is Ship and Company, I believe.
Ninja has a 4 launch pad.
Stammy and Plagues on the backside of that, but they're going to make it across the bridge, and that should be okay for them. Things are going to be just fine, but these nades could cause some trouble for Vivid and Ninja. Are they good? No, too high. So we don't get the range just perfect. That's going to definitely allow them to escape now on the backside and the south side of this bridge. No worries at all. And like I said earlier, Monster, when we talk about the amount of players in the game, the amount of teams in the game, while the nades come in and respond for a bit, these engagements don't tend to fully happen.
Definitely not, but the thing about explosives, that's a game changer. That'll give you all the confidence you need, especially if you crack enough players with it. It is the kind of the perfect setup for the early game. I'm just looking from POV to POV. You're seeing all kinds of heals in these inventories here. The fish in full effect here on ninjas as well. So prestigious if you're using this early. You're setting yourself up for failure in a sense, but it looks like Ship and his team right now, Stammies and Plagues, they're not trying to give it up. They're really trying to choke point Ninja, Colosso, and Vivid out right now. They're taking this battle. Look who's on the huge flank right now, though. It's Colosso coming from behind.
This could be huge, and I don't think they've realized at all. They're all focused on Ninja. Ninja's grabbed the attention, and for good reason. He's definitely gotten some height advantage on the possibilities, and now spraying for Colosso to come up the side. They're trying to make so the backside is open. Stammy's not paying attention. He's not got something, but Ship is watching it, and Colosso does not manage the flank. Now things are trouble here for both teams because zone is going to start moving soon, and this fight is going to have to happen because they've gotten them pinched.
And look, they're setting it up, right? Stammies and Ship getting together right now, looking for the box fight. But no, since they're not capitalizing on the situation, in comes the C4 from Ninja's team. And they have height now, and they're dominating, just controlling the situation right now. Stammies is going to get blown down to the low ground. There is no more C4 in the inventory of Ninja's crew now. Ship is going to go on and get to cranking here, as Pledge does as well. And all of a sudden, they managed to refine the height here, as Vivid and Ninja are now in the low ground. They had such a good position.
Here comes the zone, though. Ninja's got to know that this needs to end, and it is going to be Storm Surge here in the 5th zone, as we're used to. The 3 players need to go down for it, so this fight will determine that. This is also, I believe, a multiple damage tick, so they've got to be careful. It might be 4th zone. It might feel bigger than it normally is, but I think the effects are still the same no matter what. Stanley's going to try to make his way out of and towards that zone. There's a big shot from Ship on height down onto Colosso.
It's looking good right now, and I mean, they're doing well to kind of turn the tables here. There's another team looking in, though, from Frenzy Farm. You can see the shots coming from downrange, so it's not just a 3v3. You have the attention of other players, just being the way it was kind of mapped out, and lucky for them, they are going to be able to find their way to zone, utilizing a good disengage right now to kind of back up. Look, the explodes are all coming in. This is not looking like a free and easy fight, not at all. Hesitation, though, from both sides. The respect here. Everything is still on the line. This is going to work out for Ninja's crew, though. They are going to be able to kind of get some materials off first and plant down. But for how long?
How long is a big question, and they do need to refarm on that because they did invest a lot, not only in materials, but also in explodes. They used all their C4. They still got some nades on Collazo, but they basically need to find these eliminations right now because otherwise they won't really have anything to last through the endgame. Some notable elims happened in the feed just moments ago. Zexro just went down to a player, and then Nate Hill also took out 2. So 2 not only points investment, but also Zexro down means it's Macwood and Calc all by themselves as this fight continues.
Nice, slow and methodical battle right here. As Ship and Pledge right now are trying to push down onto Ninja and his team. Vivid now trying to back out, looking like he's calling for the disengage here, setting up the floor for a launch pad. What might be, he's got to be careful. Edgy and Sensor are just nearby the farms here. They're backing up. They're still keeping eyes, and there they all hit the launch pad. They're trying to get to the safe zone. Pop shots are going to come in. Vivid's going to hit once. It's not going to be enough to slow him down. Collazo's going to lose all of his shield, though, as he's crossing in. Lucky for him, they are going to all touch down now, just close enough to the safe zone. If that other team uses the launch pad, they can turn the favor here. Return the favor, I should say. We'll see.
And looking at the rest of this map as that fight finally stalls and finally stops. Zayt Saf, whose name is God Pump in this game, in 72 hours, Anonymous 72, our height, our center zone, but there is a team who has a little bit of inklings that they want to push. It's Zexro and Calc as well. Macwood too, somewhere else in this zone. I'm not sure if they've gotten fully in as well. Ninja though, and Vivid building way up, but the zone's not here actually. There they were in the back, actually on a mid-ground layer. That's Zexro on them. I think Saf, Zayt, in 72 hours are pulling what we saw from the last game. They're going to stay on height in 5th zone.
It's definitely looking that way, and man, the different dynamic in team battle here in trios, right? You get hit, the builds go out, and everyone tries to secure height just so they can catch a little moment to regather themselves. Edgy, Scented, only a 2-man crew right now, though, as they lost Riverson right here. They're in the low ground trying to see what they can do, trying to get into the battle right now, into the thick of it. They're just barely safe. They have a little more to do. This is looking like a repeat from the last game. Ninja setting up those proper floor kind of peaks now and see if he can fire down at opponents instead of jumping in, raising the risk factor. So much material they've invested battle after battle, though. You have to wonder, is this going to, you know, play a factor against them now as other players are now firing in because they're just so exposed on the back half.
Oh, one half.
Ninja, though, he's
Ninja's down.
Damage. He gets taken out.
No way. Oh.
It's Nate Hill who takes him out 2 former squad mates, adding some little bit of rivalry maybe starting in the Ninja Battle series, but it is Scented who takes out Pledge, who finally pushes in the box. He had to because of the way that Storm was pushing. They basically controlled all the space near them. Ship is going to have to spend one of his med kits. And look at that in the distance.
Mixer Ship, he has to.
They've taken height on Sav Zayt in 72 hours. They pushed this. They pushed the agenda, and now they have it. They've got control, just like they did have last game.
Of course they did, and I saw the launch pads flying out. Arkram, Epic Whale, and Rex right there kind of just jumping on in, finding their piece of the high ground real estate as well. So we are going to be in for who can be king of the height, as everyone knows how important of a role it plays. Bizzle seems like he was in a tight situation. I was going to have to heal up there. Here's a young Calc, Zexro, Macwood's POV now. You can see from the other side. This is their kind of comfort zone, sitting on top of all the chaos, on top of all the messy builds, and they have another launch pad.
The high ground controls everything, Abdul.
This is true, so they're kind of vibing right now. A lot of plays left for them. And remember, Ball, the way the zone works, it's very, very likely to collapse into the middle, so it's going to be extremely difficult to snatch height back from Calc, Zexro to Macwood, who are sitting so structurally strong right now.
And they still have plenty of materials to actually continue that. So
oh shit, you see the dude
72 hours now stuck down below them. Calc notably has 4
yeah.
floppers. I'm interested to see what Macwood's inventory looks like because he
I know, I read what he said, yeah.
Went for the heal off last time. They're trying to now reconnect. That's why they're dropping down. Reconnect it so that the structure that you
I know, the guy who's from Booga, yeah.
Safe. Zayt stuck down below 72 hours.
You know that Twitch doesn't work some countries?
Yeah, look.
Twitch doesn't work some countries, like it doesn't work.
See what you're doing, and we're not just gonna let you do that for free.
Oh my god, the high ground is too far.
Just let them know.
Oh
look, it is
shit.
gonna break. So it's all the C4 was planted at the base structure. Good old demolition project right there. And the cranking, the builds come back out, but now everyone can see what's going on. I'm looking at Storm Surge pop off right now.
Oh no.
As you can see,
Mixer is dead.
Arkrum's team was
Who
just
won?
affected by it, but lucky for them, they find the tags that they need. There's still more zaps coming in. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Ball, they can't see that, but they can hear the indicators, so they don't know who exactly is under pressure right now. But it's going down. Storm Surge, kind of interesting right now in the trio competition.
They're all toxic. That's the problem.
I know they're toxic. Canada is so toxic.
Still 14 people above when that 7th zone surge
Zexor is so
started
toxic,
happening.
but he's not that.
He's below 51.
Three
People need to go down before that actually happens.
He's not that good too.
Before the last threshold is down.
Yeah.
So this lobby gonna get quickly eaten by this surge. And I don't think that they were necessarily expecting this because they thought they were playing default playlist.
People are dying because of the Storm Surge.
Storm Surge will actually go off in default playlist. So Stretch and Booger, who normally are very proficient at staying above Surge, now having issues.
Can you imagine? He only needs 51 damage to get himself clear. Here's a team who doesn't need any damage at all. 1,500 above the cutoff right there. Scoped, AV, chat, all vibing right now.
Scoped and they're all controllers.
More towards the lower ground though, you can see how many names are up above as everyone else is trying to just get clear here. Storm Surge still a factor, guys. One player is being affected. Doesn't matter. Nick 830 is gonna get.
Nick 830 got killed
with a pump from the backside there. Here, 8th zone though, Balla. 9th is on the way. The battles are now getting box to box, chest to chest. Heals are going to be so important
right now.
here.
These guys are
what the heck?
For these fights specifically to find extra fish, to find extra heals, and we got to start establishing Monster who is in good.
Yo, TSM Canada is still alive?
And Count can ride up to placement. And look at that, the floppers in Macwood's inventory. Don't forget, Zexor has some, and Cal too.
Oh my god.
12 floppers, no,
12
in Macwood's inventory, and then plus the 4 and 4 from Zexor and Cal. This is ridiculous. I cannot see them losing the game from a situation like this, but you never know what other people have.
Hey, listen, you asked the question, who's in the proper situation? Macwood's got it all the way. I mean, look at that. They have the height. They're making sure they divvy out the resources. Macwood dropped all of his ammunition right there, so they're clearly setting up for
oh my god!
Is that a floppers?
Hey,
they're winning.
Can you count them out? You know they're gonna play to the middle.
Don't say it, I swear.
Winning, they already
16 floppers, bro.
Remember, it's about Elam's, quite honestly. It's the reason they were in #1 when we came into this, so healing is not going to be enough. We'll see what Falcon and Speed can do when they jump on down.
Place. Look how they play.
Players that need to make some big strides here, though. Scope, AV, and chat, they're going to need more heals. Oh, Calc is going to find Epic Whale as he jumps down, Balla.
And don't forget, you can throw floppers now. You can throw them in Season 2. So he picks them up and throws them up for his teammate. Now he's going to go back down, start hunting for Elam, and continue to find more floppers. We talked about how these box fights are occurring because of this. Scope now.
No, but they have that in Abdu. You see the bazooka?
Some damage. I'm wondering who
bazooka can't do shit next to
is a player with those floppers, but you never know.
You can survive for
now. Who's going to be healing off Cypher already in zone, it looks like. Macwood finding more. His inventory is full on floppers right now. He's at 18.
They got 2 more floppers.
This is actually ridiculous. I love this strategy in play, though. Send the Slayers down. Bring the goods back up. This is good old pirate action happening right here. Get the loots and bring it back. But Scope is going to get taken out by Mega. We talk about having that prize kind of inventory. He is going to be able to trade out to all the fish there, and Macwood waiting for the final seconds.
Right now, he has 19 floppers, Oscar.
This is actually super sketchy. He has nothing to defend himself with, Balla. Let's pay attention to the feed here. Calc has to come back up and save him, essentially, but they don't have any heals, and everyone's in the zone. He's on the run, Balla.
He's fine. He's just
so next week will be hard.
Nate Hill was the player who was contesting that, or possibly edgy. No, it was Nate Hill. So he just gets away with the builds that he has left and makes it work. Funky healing, Keys healing, Assault. These are all different teams, guys, and they all have floppers to make this work. Macwood got away from Nate Hill, and now they're just eating. They're munching on this heal off. This is ridiculous, and I think Macwood has it for sure, but let's cycle through everybody to see the HP situation. Bizzle with three Slurpfish, that's it. Where's Funk Bomb? He's on the other side of this wall. Salt has nothing, so he's going to be the first person to go down. Key's still healing down below. He's got a flopper, but Salt on the wall now. He can make it happen. No, he gets in. Keys puts him down.
Won.
Now 4 people left.
No.
Bizzle high ground with the launch pad. He might be able to take out Macwood if he has a Slurpfish left. No, he's going to fall the zone as well, and I think it's all she wrote. I think Macwood has done it.
That's right, full sushi bar on deck for Macwood right now as he is approaching his final moments right now. Wait a second though, no, the surprise, it's Funk who has more heals than Macwood, who we thought was clearly gonna take the victory. If Macwood doesn't do something now, I think soon he's gonna figure it out. He has to make a move. After he pops that last fish, he's gonna have to hunt. And here, your final ticks right now. We know now Macwood only has the 1 fish. Is he going to go on the prowl? Yes, of course he is. He's got to find Funk. Funk is hidden way down below, though. Too many builds. There's no way he finds this, right? 1 second now, and there goes the final tick.
He didn't win. Flank won.
Shout out to the ops crew keeping us suspended on suspense right there. They could have easily shown the inventory before, but kept it a little surprise right there. And that threw both of us off guard, I think.
What the fuck?
I was thinking that Macwood, no chance. I mean, he dropped his weapons, monster. I do wonder, though, because Calc found 2 floppers down below. And you remember he had floppers in his inventory before.
Let me see. He say, what the fuck, haha.
His favor. That was very interesting, man. That's Fortnite for you, though. You never know.
It looks like everybody's like fighting for their territory when they're looking for the floppers. They're like, oh, those are my floppers now. They take the stash and get out of there.
I'm looking at your rod right now.
You had one? Oh, my replay's wrong then. Okay, I had one.
For the next 3 games, and that was only game 2.
They're first place.
No, we had 6. I'm 99% sure it's 6.
Again and again, but
honestly, bro,
So
Macwood, you kinda threw Macwood.
I'm not gonna lie, Macwood, you kind of threw. You
What?
popped one at 60 health. You popped one at 60.
No, Macwood, you threw.
You actually saved 1 flopper if you didn't keep messing up.
No, you actually
didn't make a difference.
I'm kidding.
I'm gonna be honest, man. You threw.
His teammates must have had. How do they have more floppers than us? That's crazy.
Just know I threw, and that's my fault, guys. Sorry.
Yes, that is your fault. Thanks for admitting your mistake.
I can't believe that kid tried grappling it.
That's actually the number 1 thing.
Oh, they killed someone with floppers, so they got more.
So that's the thing. That's the number 1 thing that you have to do to improve as a tree. Is
you have to hit your fucking 20 floppers.
Gonna happen out. And games are going to be heal offs, similar to what we'd expect. It happens every time I think we enter back into old playlists, so it's pretty cool.
You can see how influential that moving zone edition was.
Yeah.
Eventually, when TwitchCon 2018 happened back then. And so, the end of the heal off meta is not necessarily ended, as we're back at it. We're back at the heal offs. We're back at the fun action of the suspense moments. Who has the most heals? Who's got it? Who's carrying? But the difference now is that floppers are the key. It's not medkits. It's not campfire. They don't exist anymore except for the natural ones. And you see how Endgame unfolded. Scoped actually had 5 eliminations on his own, 6 total for that team. And look at how many.
Oh, how do you play this tournament? You gotta get invited. Only the people who are like famous pro players got invited.
And then the final moments, the heal off Macwood with the 18 floppers was not enough against Funk Bomb. How many floppers did he have? I guess the question is going to have to be answered by them alone, right?
That's what I was gonna say. I said when we tuned in, man, he had 8 already. I wonder if like medkits maybe played the fact. I have no idea how you managed to stretch that long, especially when Mac was completely decked out, and then we tuned back and he had more. So kind of crazy, regardless of what. That's kind of how it all goes down. But regardless of what, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. We're gonna take a quick break right here, and when we return, make sure you come back with maxed out resources because we have more Fortnite action, guys.
You get hella floppers, bro.
That was our flopper game.
We just need the game where we stay alive once we get the flopper.
Pop them, or you probably should just hold.
Okay, who wants to snipe this game? Replays. Do you want to keep doing this since you've been doing it and you're
I don't
warmed up,
mind.
or should I give it a shot?
I don't mind.
I don't
What
really
is
know.
Nikki
It's up
30
to you guys.
eating?
I haven't even hit a snipe yet. There's not many people peeking, but yeah, I haven't hit a snipe yet.
Maybe we get 2. I'm down to try though. I'm down to try sniping.
If you want, yeah. There's not many people are peeking. I know that. I was looking all game, like everyone just sitting in a box or rotating with their builds out.
I'm almost considering, dude, God ramping height. Like, I don't even know. Like, we can see the whole game when we're on height. Like,
on what zone though?
People are saying height is nothing, which.
I'll be right back.
Oh, sorry, I can't hear you. I don't know if you can hear me. But yeah, you might.
There we
might
go.
muted
We should
by
be
accident.
good there.
You go. We're back. We're back with
Welcome
game
back.
number 3 coming close in Ninja Battles. That was definitely a show of, I don't know, pescatarianism, I guess you could say, because everybody apparently is just eating fish.
Yeah, you know it. I mean, that's kind of how it is. The name of the game. We talked about the sushi bar being lined up right there. Macwood had the full kind of stack and array of different types, but hey, Funk found the solution there. He was the better chef at the end.
And I still don't know, by the way. I didn't see a screenshot of his inventory anywhere like that because everybody was talking about, everybody on Twitter is literally talking about Macwood and how many fish he had. But I mean, what? Funk Bomb comes out on top. How many fish did he have? You said he's the better chef, but man, that guy literally must be working on the docks right there. And that's, you know, his hometown is Dirty Docks, but I don't know. Like, that's crazy for Funk Bomb to have more fish than 18. There must have been 24 or something from that. Because, and I don't even know how you get that, to be honest. Like, thinking about how you actually get that many fish, because I didn't participate in the fishing competition, but Funk Bomb clearly did, I guess.
Hey, speaking of which, I still haven't caught my golden fish for the achievement that I'm never gonna unlock. So you have to get it, you have to fish it out, and then hit someone with it. So not only is it the hardest, item to achieve in the game, but then you have to go pull off a crazy one.
At the end of the day, we might have a pro fishing out the golden fish because of how much they're going to be doing. But let's take a look at how Game 2 actually unfolded and where people ended up. As we have the standings for Game 2, don't be mistaken. This is the standings for just Game 2. So here it is. On top, we should say, first place was Zexro, Macwood, and Calc. And then Nate Hill, Bully, and Funk Bomb had 15 points in that game. Chapscoped and AV as well with 10 eliminations, Monster.
Yeah, we're looking at a totally different take of the kind of competitive playing field right there. Just that in its own, the Elam so heavily. Here's your overall look, the combination of the two games put together right there. It's about who can pull the most at the end, regardless of how good of a game you had. But Elam's proving that, I mean, that's the way too, right? It's another factor. So it's not just about winning the games. You have to pick up eliminations towards the tail end or those mid-game fights, wrap them up. We're kind of flying through these here to get you guys. What?
I think you have to actually really take that into mind because, like, when you think of how these games would unfold if we had the normal, like, arena mode, for, like, if we had Trios Arena, you think back to that FNCS and the open stages and all, actually, those customs, too. Like, eliminations were a huge factor in coming out on top of this format. I think everybody has mostly wrapped their heads around the fact that it's going to be a heal-off, and that's what they need to play for. But what that is doing is hindering them when they go for Elam. So Chapscoped and AV playing that other side, and they pushed themselves way up in the leaderboard with that last game.
And we saw like how much of a backfire too, right? Like when Shit Pledged and his teammate all pushed up on Ninja, all of a sudden they were wasting or like really trying their best to hold on to their fish and whatnot, just knowing how much of a, how crucial that is to the equation of taking the victory at the very least at the end. That passive play backfired because then Storm kept ticking, players kept angling up, and all of a sudden you had the best of the West, right? Epic and his crew kind of looking in, and it was all over.
Yeah. So I think now the switch is going to be, you got to have that many floppers so that you can end up winning the game to get the placement points that you need. But at the same time, you have to do what Calc did in a sense to stay up on top of the leaderboard right there and get the eliminations too. But there are going to be other teams like Chap, like AV and Scoped pushing through with just elimination. So how do you counter that when you're playing the style that Calc, Zexro, and Macwood are? And basically you get everybody playing fish. And if there's an aggressive team in Chap in that, they're literally just going to be pushing through on people who don't want to fight you, and that gives them the advantage overall.
That's right. Really pushing through and picking up elims. At least we're seeing a little mix up in the air right now to keep things interesting for us, showing that play styles are always something that you can utilize to your benefit. And that's one thing, right? Players that fight with confidence when they don't really, they're not playing for necessarily the overall victory, not in that style, not in that fashion. They have the leg up. They have the advantage. If you're running from players that are being offensive, it's easier to get singled out, especially by a 3-man group that's hunting you down.
Yep, 100%. And thinking of players who got singled out, I mean, you talked about that fight already, so I don't want to harp on it too much, but I feel like twice now, Colazo, Ninja, and company have gotten stuck in a hard place where they can't make their rotate because of, I don't know if it's the decisions they make to stay on these fights, but in any case, Nate Hill takes out Ninja in the first game and has to pick up not only rivalry behind it, but also kind of leads into this right now where we see they're in the race, Nate Hill and company, Nate Hill and Funk Bomb. And don't forget too, Monster, like when we think throughout that entire game, they won the Shark against Unknown, against Kanata. I mean, what are these names? Against Assault too. Like that is a ridiculously stacked team. And as the players load in, they're thinking about how to engage the Shark. And is Nate Hill and Funk Bomb actually going to beat them again?
I mean, I think they just have in mind, it's like, you saw how strong the grappler was in solos and all that good stuff, man. I think you just got to leave that behind, play for the rest of the islands. There's so much more real estate there up for grabs here, but we're jumping into game number 3 now with the Ninja Battles event. Once again here in the bus slicing towards the southern portion right now. Players are going to have long treks if you're landing up at the northern half here, Bala. But the game is on the way right now.
That it is, and so many different decisions now working their way through. I think we might have a game eventually where we won't see any early game contests at all as everybody starts to get familiar where people are landing. I definitely saw some big POIs, literally uncontested, not a single team in them, and how these players are going to actually take advantage of that is important. Here's the Grotto drop from Chap, Scopes, and company. They're uncontested at the Grotto, looking at on the other side of this, Nate Hill and Funk Bomb over at Dirty. No, actually, sorry, that's Ninja and company over at Dirty Docks. Macwood, Zexro, and Calc again for free towards Craggy Cliffs. And look how much space they actually have to work with. Macwood's going to land at the research center where you can get the agency loot that's available.
We thought coming into this, it was going to be minigun kind of craziness, but we haven't even seen that weapon really being put to full use. So there's still more strategy that can be kind of applied here. Here's Unknown Assault. We talked that they might have needed to shake things up, switch things up from the Shark, and they're already in a different kind of area right there, playing the land mass more importantly. Here's a Dirty Docks landing spot right now.
Thanks for watching, guys. Please make sure to like, subscribe, share.
Here. And we haven't even
6 people watching this.
Really brought this up, but this is the middle of the competition now. It's kind of the do or die moments here. Game 3, if you are kind of tailing or trailing behind, now's the time to really pick things up. This could be your turning point for the big prizing.
Now, guys, we have Unknown and Assault on our screen right now, and I don't think that we all kind of really totally understand what this means. Unknown, Assaults, and Kanata just got pushed off by Nate Hill and Funk Bomb off of the Shark to a spot that looks to be like they have no plan at all in their loot path. Assault and Unknown were in the same building on the very side of the map fighting against JDW, J-Mock, and Snero. So that's definitely interesting, and that also puts Nate Hill and Funk Bomb in, very, very good contention because of not only the fact that you get the grappler out of the Shark, but also you get so many fish available. We saw the leaderboard pop up for
they're showing the llama.
There's still Zexro, Macwood, and Calc up in the lead.
People can cheat and, look at the
world,
stream.
kind of look at the map, give you guys an idea of how these players are all kind of spreading out and taking their canvas, their stab at the map. So many areas uncontested are completely Salty Springs, Pleasant Park. So It's a little bit of homework right there. It could be the difference maker. Here's Cypher, PK, and Benny, though. We know their strategy is to take that chopper, hit massive points around the map right now. And that is true. If they just go down that kind of bend there, down the mountain, there's so much gear to be found down there. It's such a great place to have
Cypher
control of,
PK, he
especially
should
with the
just
chopper
quit.
that can
Like,
rotate
he
him
cannot make.
nice and easily.
Abdu.
And they pushed off
Cypher PK, he doesn't. He's not even that good
who were
pro
landing
player.
here on the mountains after moving off of the north side of the map. That's
He's
Benny and Hogman. And then
Fortnite
don't forget, they also
creative
engaged
content.
onto Maddie's son and the Gen G girls. So how all
Baby
this is
Keys.
all playing out. Here's Keys, Slacks, and Reverse 2K. Back in Slurpy Swamps, back at their old antics. They're going to make their way away from Booga, Stretch, and Commandment, who seem to have captured the majority of the swamps.
That's the weapon I was talking about right there. Keys is holding it, the big minigun. Such a game changer. Here's your look. Ewok, Avery, we can see having their kind of different stab at another location right now. It's Risky Reels, but it's currently occupied by Arkham right now, who's sitting inside of a building. Little does he know, Avery's keeping a close eye on him, and this is the problem of spreading yourself thin. He was probably landing.
I think
his team
Akram
split
is
up
gonna
here,
beat
and
all
he's
of
by
them.
himself right now, and
Akram,
Ewok's
he's kind
sneaking
of
up.
good.
Look, she's crouched behind the wall. You can see the player outlines. Look at Zypha coming up too. It's a big ambush here. Ball, he's gonna be met soon. No way, he sneaks out. I didn't see him. Oh my gosh, a big pump, and he's not gonna need the crew. He's not gonna need Ewok and Zypha to help out, but it's all right. Team support here to back him up.
They roll through
GG's.
anyways, trying to get all the loot possible. As they do clean up one of the influential West players. That's Arkrim, who goes down, getting a little too far away from his teammates and not expecting the switch up that Avery, Ewok and company have made. Zayt, Saf in 72 hours making a big push. And notice, by the way, as this push happens, that there's still 20 teams up. Only one player has gone eliminated in this game so far. And Zayt is literally getting chased by 3 right now.
That's right, and he's on the run right now. It's J.O. Mock, JDW hunting him down right now. I think his team is coming in. Yeah, here it is, 72. And Saf now setting up the proper angles. Showing you guys how to back up your teammate here. And I love that he's trying to get to the box, not leaving him to fend for himself. Not at all right now. This is how a good trio will kind of operate. Is it going to switch things up, though? 72 coming back down, and things are going to slow down. Saf keeping the distance, though. Now closing in. Just look at the dynamic right now. This is such a peculiar situation to be in here. Ooh, good grenade kind of set up right now. It's not going to find anything, but the thought there that still was pretty clever from Zayt. And ooh, JDW's going to find a nice angle from the low ground there.
He's not finding any room to find himself a box and wait for a second. Zayt was the person who got pushed originally from this, and he wanted to back up because his materials were running short, but now he's kind of backfired, and he has to go on to JDW, big tags on the side. And now he's going to get through the cone. His teammate needs to come in from the back, almost gets another one too, but he's found himself the room with only 5 builds left.
It's the shots that matter. At the end of the day, if you hit them, it's going to be the difference maker there. Saf is going to find his mark. Bye-bye, JDW, and all of a sudden, the tables are turning here. 72 hours doesn't have any shield, though, so there it is. He's going to have to pump the brakes right now, and they're healing back up. They're back in the game here. Not with a lot of mats, though. You can see J.O. Mock, Snaira up above, trying to pressure down. They're going to have to fully commit here or something. I mean, he's got plenty of ammunition to put the pressure down. See. Still looking, still kind of hunting. Looking for angles right now. That metal's so hard to break through. Definitely not something you want to pressure, not right now. You see Saf is actually farming down below. He's getting his resources together right now.
Abdu.
Zayt in the cone. He does find a backside.
Go to
there,
the
just kinda
setting
waiting for
on
an
Fortnite.
opportunity to show itself, and he pounces Saf.
You know
gets
what it
one low,
shows
but now
under
Zayt
the game?
held off by himself, and he needs to go 1 versus 1.
Can
with
you
no
add the
materials. He's gotta wait for 72
character?
hours. And Saf to actually clean this up. Now the pressure has
Can
to
you
come in
add
'cause
it
they
to
know they've
Fortnite?
gotten one low. They
Fortnite,
know
on
that
Fortnite.
They have the time right now to actually
on
win
the
this
on
fight. So he has
the
to back up and start
on the live
farming
stream.
himself. You talked about how Saf was doing that a second ago.
Live
Now
stream?
Zayt has to do
Yeah,
that. They back
under
all the way up to
the you know,
house.
like how it says
Normally,
what
though,
game you guys
Jeremiah
playing.
and Snero have
Can
no
you
heals to get
say
back up and
Fortnite?
get fighting chances.
That's right. The battle was drawn out. Little did they
multiple
know.
screen,
J.O.
right?
Mock is
Yeah.
though, down to nothing.
Not that one, not
right
that
here. You
one.
can see the HP is so low. One tag.
Oh no,
The
the
other
live
team's
stream. I'm
gonna
talking
drop
about
the
the live
scene,
stream.
It's all about information gathering. Zay,
the stream, the
72 still
YouTube.
kind of poised up here, seeing that they might want a piece of the action, trying to rely on the gunplay back.
So you know like how every videos, every streamers has like what kind of game they play?
Saf is backing up. He's in full farm mode right now.
No.
Probably looking for a new angle. Yes, look at the arrow. He's
It has
setting up
YouTube
the
has
flank
it too.
right now, coming from behind. He's already poised up.
Yes, it does.
One shot is all it's going to take here. Let's see from 72's perspective. Minigun locked and loaded right now. He's got 100 ammunition of lights here. He can put that down.
Look on the description.
To the side right now. It's going to get pinged. He's going to land a shot on 72. If he gets hit one time, he's taking out the game. Here's J.O. though.
Oh my god.
Potentially, right? The other angle.
Okay.
Seeing it all unfold right now. Good job from him to play back and forth. Good movement. These are not his builds at all. Still managing to stay alive. He has nothing to build with right now. It's all gunplay here. The 50-50. He's not going to win it. Saf instead comes out on top.
It says view party?
One more player down. They're singling out the last here now. Snira, who's in a box.
Okay.
No HP. All it takes is one AR shot.
Can you change it to that to Fortnite?
No.
Why?
So the fight that was happening for Zates, and pushing over towards the other side, ends up happening, but back over here at the Shark, Nate Hill and
wrong with the fact of life?
And Unknown can assault. They get what they need, and they push right back, expecting Nate Hill and Footbomb to still be here. And yes,
bro, I love Unknown Army too, but like, I don't think they're gonna do tournament this good. This tournament
because
good.
Guess what? If they take them out, not only are they gonna get the Shark loot, but they'll also probably get all the floppers that Footbomb had last game and where they got it from. This is a full-on assault now. No pun intended for Kanata Unknown and company. The launch pads are going to go away, but that is not the right play onto Assault and Unknown. They will let you.
Oh my god.
Instantly, Nate Hill goes down, and Footbomb has to base up somewhere on the beach.
And the irony to hit a launch pad in front of
They
players
literally like
Unknown
lizard.
and Assault in this current state of the game. You are definitely not going to touch the ground. Here's Assault though on the hunt here. He's going to find Funk too. We're going to connect now. It might look like the same might happen to Funk as it did to Nate Hill, and yes, he's gonna get chipped down right there.
He got killed by Unknown.
Bye-bye your game 2 winners.
So now I have to wonder if Unknown, Kanata, and company just got a million floppers, because that probably is going to be the case. Now they possibly have contention and something to say about this game, but so far 3 elims is definitely going to make something work. Looking at Booger and Stretch and Commandment now, they're actually very close to where Chap, AV, and Scoped are, as they make their rotation in through the Weeping Woods.
Booga and them, they have 1 kill.
That's right. And don't forget, guys, we're in the middle of the competition now, so if you're rooting for anyone who needs to step it up, now's the time. Because we are essentially past the halfway mark. 50 players remaining in this lobby now, so only a few have gotten taken out in this game alone, and a lot of that action we did get to kind of track here. So players, teams, falling apart piece by piece right now. Looking at the map, though, someone was knocked right there. So we're hopping back over.
11 viewers.
Here.
Guys, make sure to like, subscribe, you know, turn the notification. We're gonna live stream any tournaments of Fortnite, so don't miss it.
Kind of hope for this finish, and yes, they do get it. Ninja gets that one from range with those grenades. Epic Whale down. Now Rex has to hopefully claw his way back in there. There's no opportunity for him to really get that, and I think we're going for a pickup, a reboot in Salty Springs. That's why Rex is making his way over there right now. Ninja, Colazo, and Vivid, they get one, but now they're also possibly camping the card. And
what the fuck? I got a
multiple times. I mean, we've seen them game 1 and game 2. This mid game is kind of the spot that they get to, but where do they go from here is the biggest question, and that's where they kind of need to fix their mistakes and their gaps in ideology moving forward in this Ninja Battles event.
But there's another engagement. It's Booga.
Why Booga and Ninja always fighting, bro?
The shots are coming in. The RPGs
their
are
teams
loaded.
are always
Stretch
fighting.
does manage to secure some height. It's not going to be enough, though. RPG's going to come in. Here's a look from Hogman's perspective, who's chunking in some grenades right there. They're not going to find their mark, so it just shows you how much eyeballs are on this fight here. It's not just a clean 3v3.
Ninja's getting shot from the other side.
Ninja goes for the soul build off.
Hogman is
He's
not
going to have to back up here now, and everyone's kind of resetting the Stretch Boogie and Commandment. Rex still lurking nearby. Every time we tune in with Epic Whale and Rex, it only seems to be a 2-man crew, so something's not quite going right over at the agency.
Whoever is
do
old
some
now,
tweaking there.
Yes. like
See
skill.
though,
Oscar.
these are settling.
The reboot, man.
That's all.
It's
What
literally
about
what
you?
he's doing right there
I'm
on the edge of zone.
Everybody.
So it's a possibility, but with Ninja, who's been playing very aggressive,
No,
at
it's
least
all
hunting
about-
for opportunities when he can.
It's not
And then,
about
of course,
anything
Stretch,
else, it's all
who's
about
trying to get
that.
a little bit of high ground on that one building in Salty. I don't know if it's going to be possible. Rex is going to make a lot of noise on the backside of Holly Hedges, though. AV looks to be by
Oh
himself
my
against
God,
reverse
big fight.
V's and slacks, and yes, that entire trio wipes. At least from what we see, the ending, the sweep from there, and then a build fight breaking out on this side. Ninja and crew going aggressive
I
again.
can't wait until I switch to my other.
That's right. Ninja trying to come in from the top rope right now, kind of swinging things back around. Looks like they re-engage back into the arena right here. Can't believe it, but that's the aggression you were hinting at. It's Ninja. Such a decorated competitor. You can see his spirit is still here in full. He wants a piece of the action. He doesn't care. He's here to battle, bring on the spectacle now. Vivid reconnecting the entire structure, though, making sure the foundation is safe here. Explodes coming in from all angles. Rex still hanging out nearby in the bush.
The timing, though, for this fight is exactly the same as last time, and we saw how extended it got in the previous game. They do have height, but what does that actually gain them? And last time it was against Ship,
MK30 replay.
and Pledge, who are set up in
They're
Sweaty
still alive.
Sands. Possibly they're set up for a fight against Nick A30 and crew, but I think they're okay, especially given that they're in zone in fourth. And the snipe opportunities for Nick, it's not going to connect just yet. And we're looking now at 17 trios still alive, 47 players, so we've lost 13. There's Saf's 8 in company. But I believe landing at Sweaty Sands, they pushed into Holly Hedges for those 3 elims, and now they're back at their home base.
This is the place they know well and true.
Are they
giving you guys a
fading?
nice
Oh,
little
they're fading.
overview, though. Some other portions here. The chopper that you saw Nick firing at is now effectively has no HP. It's Edgy Riverson scented here, who kind of skating across the outer edges. Now Zayt and Saf are trying to get themselves to zone here. 72. Replay's getting very aggressive, kind of moving up right now, looking to choke them out, cut them off. All the nades being expended here.
He's
nice. Find its mark. 72 is going to get cracked big time right there. Replay is actually going to find his mark with the AR as well. And they're battling for the drop. I'm assuming that's why Replay's kind of inched out there.
No, he's
Zayt
just
and
auto
Saf getting
snipe.
punished
Just
for
shot.
moving towards it as well. They didn't want to give it away for free. Now you're seeing how that can backfire.
And they're gonna have to back
Hey,
off.
why
I think
did,
they edged their way into zone though, so they're sitting just fine. They've got to be careful. There's some nades set up for Zayt. I think they are
Imad,
trying
he
to
changed
mark
his
that.
name to God
I think
Pump.
they're gonna try to hit Ship and
That's
crew,
Zach.
although I'm not exactly sure. Who's
What do you mean
marked for
Zach?
what.
The Zach is not.
There was space. There was room.
Saf.
There's
Oh,
an
Saf.
opportunity for
Imad
that,
is
but
not
the
playing
split
with
from
them?
Punisher Nick A30
He is
and
playing
Replays
with
is
them.
going to
Imad
actually
is- Imad
opt
is-
not to do
Eh?
that. Typically, those nades,
Imad is his name.
often referred to as God nades, end up on a full squad.
But
that
Imad
shoot
is not. Imad was. I saw his stream. He was
goodness of
playing with
that.
40.
so they can wipe and get all the damage that they need. but
72
because
and
the splits,
Zach.
this team, it's okay. They opt not to. Kanata also in Sweaty Sands. That means unknown.
Imad's playing
And
with who?
Assaults are somewhere nearby too.
Yeah, we did get a small glimpse of Unknown. There he is on the street layer here, rotating behind the reboot red now. Trying to get an angle up. Kanata's situating himself up above Saf in 72. These are going to be some good angles in on the competition. Everyone kind of positioning up here, though. The congestion happening, and they're on the outer edge of the zone, so they're going to have a problem rotating in. Remember, the zone is very, very likely to start collapsing towards the center. We'll see. Here's Gen G's, Tina Ray's, Maddie, and Carly right now. Last we tuned in with them, they didn't make it to mid-game, so they're having a much better game. Looks like Rex managed to get his teammate from the reboot. So staying alive and hanging out in Salty Springs just long enough to pull up Epic Whale. Not sure if he got their last teammate, though. Commandment tries to come up on Ninja, and he's going to greet them with a couple shots. 60's going to find the mark, and oh my gosh, huge tactical shot here. Stretch tries to get away from Ninja. Ninja's hungry for this Elim. He smells the blood in the water here. Pushing in very aggressively right now. And this is the thing about trios. The fights are so drawn out because of all the different factors that can play. It's not easy to in these ones, especially when you're going against the best. The best, the counter-edited Ninja gets taken out by Booga. Monstrous collide of shotgun shots right there. High profile. Nave's going toe-to-toe here, Ball.
The World Cup champion against The face of Fortnite takes them out. Now we're looking Commandment, Stretch, and Boogadu back down after taking out Ninja, after getting that finish and the spoils from it. And they kind of have to now make a hard rotation. They've already used one of their paths to get out of the Weeping Woods, but we saw them earlier.
I think
but
this
it's gonna
time
go even farther south now. And even
Canada
farther
and
away from Salty Springs.
Unknown
So
are gonna
both
win.
teams, both sides are gonna have a very,
Ninja got
very
killed
tough
by
path
Booga.
ahead of them. Stretch, Commandment, and Booga. You can see they're trying to see, is this team gonna just sit here, or are they actually gonna move? Are they gonna use a launch pad? Because right now, Stretch, Commandment, and Booga, they have to move over open field against Vivid and Colazo, who are just staying here. And don't forget, Monster, this zone is gonna tick for 10 damage. So this is not an easy thing to do. Here's the pad. It's only a short one. They do get some distance off of it.
You gotta appreciate the rotate too from Vivid and Claws. They're gonna go in the opposite way right now. You can just see those are the red crosshairs down on that mini map. They're colliding into another team, so not sure how that's gonna play out. But Booga staying behind here to just make sure things are safe from their kind of flank. Taking a look at the launch pad. In his mind, he's thinking that maybe they'll have to hit it. No, they're gonna catch Colazo off guard.
Oh, he sniped one.
Repayments. Booga now takes out Ninja and Colazo, dethroning this squad right now. That's going to be enough for him to roll on. He's still staying behind.
Man, Booga's so nice.
Oh, so close.
He killed Ninja and the clown.
The Elam collapses over, and nice find. Fish for the road.
Finds a slurpfish randomly inside of one of those houses. Meanwhile, though, we look at what the onslaught was from Sweaty Sands moving north. Zate, Saf, and 72 Hours are right next to Unknown.
Punisher is a good name.
Literally
Punisher.
right underneath them, out of Sweaty Sands, and Punisher and AK-30 are not letting Stammies and Pledge move forward. Where does the next zone go? Even further centered, and there's only 3 teams right now inside a zone. Booga is not one of them, but he almost finds Ewok. On the backside of this, they're going to try to sneak a rocket in there, but no, I don't think that's going to find anything. You never know. Meanwhile, Young Cow, Xexro, Macwood, we forgot about them. They're still here, and they're starting to make possibly what we call a god ramp in competitive Fortnite, where they all are combining 3 massive ramps to get into the center of zone. I think that might be what they're planning, but with the spray from Booga and Commandment and crew, they're not letting that happen at all.
Yeah, it was actually Calc that caught Vivid right there, so they're already racking up those early crucial elims to get them in the lead. And talk about early elims and how that affects your game. I mean, Zate, Saf, and 72 here. One saves Saf as they picked him up and dragged him to the safety zone, but they also already have 4 elims. So now all of a sudden, things are getting tight. We know the difference maker right now is the fact that you can pick up those elims. You'll be very, very healthy in this competition. Remember, a lot of prizing on the line right now. Here's Stammies and Pledge. They've been in such a shambles situation since the rotate out of the Sweaty Sands. Still battling Punisher and Nick 830. They've been pretty much trailing as their shadow all the way through, not once really having the swing of things here. Zate looking for the cheeky headshot right now through the box. Is he gonna find it? Oh man, it's a real close one there. It just shows you never know who's watching you. That's actually Unknown Kanata and Assault right there in the box.
Yeah, that could be huge implications. Booga did pick up a couple, but I think it's a wrap for them. It's Bizzle, Omega, and Emad trying to make their way up a little high ground position too, but also possibly getting the fish off of that full squad wipe that they just got. Meanwhile, Edgy takes out Brook. And so Emad, and we talk about the alpha connection in terms of Zate, Saf, and 72 Hours, Emad actually finds some of his own friends too in Booga Commandment, and them Zate in trouble though. Oh my goodness, so low HP, he's done for. Saf now has to hold on by himself as 72 Hours goes down 2. The lobby deciding that they're wanting them out, and Zate, who was hunting for the heavy snipe shot on Kanata, is going to get paid, actually get punished from Kanata himself.
A little too greedy for the loot there, and such a great trio gets taken out. Oh my gosh, and rewarded so beautifully. All that loot right there is going to turn into 12 floppers in the inventory of Kanata now. The harpoon, some other players, so effective to pull up the loot to your base without needing to jump in. Zate would have just had that, he would have been A-okay. That's the difference right there, and just designating someone to have that, to pick up the gear. Now here's Avery, Zypha, Ewok putting that pressure in. This is such a good game for them. 3 elims already. Mega being the target of focus here, looking for all kinds of angles. They have so much control over that layer. And of course, on high right now, Bala, it's your FNCS champs, your trio that's in the lead right now.
Yeah, and I've already counted 8 floppers for young Calc and Zexro as Calc picks up another one onto Bizzle.
Bizzle got
And Mega now
killed.
left by himself. I'm not sure if Emad, the last player of that team, is still up, but they're going to build over high ground again. Calc needs to connect. There's Macwood doing exactly that. I wonder now what's in Macwood's inventory. This is the time where, guys, we are in 8 zone. We have 2 more to go. This is the time where everybody, when you find a new person like Avery, for example, no floppers is inventory, so he has to play aggressive, but obviously his team needs a little bit more. We're starting to count a little bit of which trio has the most, so keep an eye on that inventory as we move into these final moments of game 3.
That's right, and remember, we know the elims are so crucial, so important. You have to get the refresher. You have to take what you can.
I know Army, they're doing kind of a little bit bad.
Furious are NAE's
The
solo
first
champ
2
right
games
there.
they throw away.
Now, I think he's left solo dolo right now for himself to fend. Yes, he is. He's literally on his own layer right now, so placement points might be his key to success right now to squeak away any points that he can. Placement points next divvied out at 5th, so you have to kind of make the cut all the way up, and we know in this trio format that can be quite some time, so we'll see what can happen there. Talk about Zexro's loadout and his fish. Yeah,
Zexro and them, bro, like they always want to lead the high ground, bro.
Tabs on who's adding up. Here's Avery, super aggressive right now. They're gonna drop him into the box. No more builds though, it seems like.
Canada almost got
no,
killed.
they are gonna get away. Zypha's gonna get taken out there now. Trying to save his teammate here. He throws him into the box nearby. He's gonna get the save here.
They're my top streamer.
Unknown's on the backside of this too, and I think he's very low HP. Meanwhile, Zexro combines for another. They've already got 6 elims. There's 2 slipfish in the inventory of Macwood, so overall 12 fish, I believe, for this team. So potential now. There's no Nate Hill. He's not gonna pull out more, and there's more floppers. 3 that adds them up to now 15 total fish available, and he's getting right back up.
Oh my God! Look at how many fish they got.
And they've got so many, plus a bandage bazooka. So all they're doing right now is exactly what they did last game. And I don't think there's anybody really to challenge them. Unknown and Kanata possibly have the stash of what Funk Bomb had in the last game. Edgy sent it, and Riverstone all the way down to the low 2. They have all 3 members up. This is potential, actually, not even to go to a heal off. Look how many people are left. 15. That's 30 seconds to
Make
go.
sure to like the stream. Don't forget to subscribe, share the live stream.
It just makes
guys.
sense now as you see this is how they're setting it up. So if the structure comes down, I mean, those fish will come falling with it. Here's Edgy, though. Yes, the zone is getting tighter and tighter. It's only becoming harder and harder to fight right now. Mega already using his prestigious heals in the zone right now. They're just trying to wait things out. Remember, placement points already divvied out by Avery to Tilt. And Tilt's going to fall. Ewok's going to fall now as well. Zypha's by himself here. It was young Calc who found Avery. And look at Zypha using his heals already. It's getting so much more claustrophobic here. Calc is going to fall finally. But Riverstone has to go up. He has to find a stash of heals. He has to get to Macwood before it's too late. Oh, it's going down right now.
Game 1. Yes, he did. And he doesn't have any more fish in there. I don't think that there was anything on the actual body there. So 5 players left, 5 teams alive, and Macwood has a stash of so many heals available. I believe Zypha, who's on Team Ewok, still in this potentially as well.
Way.
But I don't know. Oh my goodness. Is that 2 stacks of full floppers plus 2 bandage bazookas as well? There's potential here for out heal. But who knows? Zypha definitely not going to be able to actually contend for, I think he's going to be the first person to go down. He still has a bandage bazooka and a flopper, but that might not last him too much. Macwood now coming down.
Macwood, they're winning. Macwood are winning.
Macwood is look for extra stash, and yes, Zypha goes down. Possibly now something for Macwood to find. 4 players still left. Who has the most? Who has the best preparation leading into this endgame?
This is so ridiculous right now. And look, he still has more fish here. Macwood trying to use the bandage bazooka now because it can replenish as the seconds do tick on using the heal right here. Dude, I think Scented has more, honestly, right now. He's looking like it. Plus, not to mention, oh, look at the shot right here. You get to see both.
Yellow or blue? Who do you guys think is gonna win?
I'm seeing more fish here on Sentinel.
Yellow or blue?
Has the lead.
Who do you think is gonna win?
This might literally be a tie for heals right now. I can't keep up with it. I don't know what the desync is. All I do know, though, is there's so much eliminations on Macwood's team here now, Boa.
Mega was still up, but he's starting to go for the pickaxe now. I think Scented hedged this because he had 2 bandage bazookas as they both ran out. Mega actually
Wow.
Mega's the champion. I saw him pulling out his pickaxe, but he must have had one more fish, or maybe he found something on the floor in that case. But
Mega won
in the final moments. At least 3 men who were relevant in the sense they heal off, who could actually compete for it, who had the stash enough to get through because. Woo! Ooh, man. I can't believe that Mega just came through on top of that. We didn't see him, obviously, so that was kind of a surprise.
But the
similar to what
question is,
Fuckbomb did,
who's
but
gonna win,
I think
Mysterio
now,
or
Monster,
Macwood?
after we see 3 different winners, and Macwood, Calc, and
How we gonna know who got the
at
top
least in top 3
first
again,
leader?
I think now the ridiculousness of the
Macwood
situation with the
is
amount of
doing his
fish is
best to
starting to sink
survive.
in for everybody, because when you get to this level, if you're not going into Endgame, at least that final zone with a bunch of impacts and a big amount of floppers in the cooler, then you have no chance of actually winning. So people are starting to play aggressive on the backside if they don't
Mega
have
was
that
alive?
opportunity. And we're seeing that. A lot of
Mega won.
I mean, more importantly, it's like Cal and this team didn't really have too much.
Not yet,
to
not
do
yet.
that. They had
There's a
their
couple
own little
rounds
fair
left.
share, but it's a matter of finding
might
the
deliver
frags.
some-
They
Yes.
work their way down, top, bottom, and then, you know, kind of build up the cachet. And the same thing happens in low ground. It's like a vault of heals dropping, you know, moment after moment. So that's why you saw Mega kind of making it happen there. So it's really a matter of who can box fight the best, quite honestly, towards the tail end, because that's where you're going to start finding your stash up.
And it is the off season, so we are going to have that, the kind of box fighting prowess going off. We do have highlights from game 3, so let's take a look. Remember Avery taking out Arkram with this team of Ewok and Zypha, and this was impactful because don't forget that they got top 5 in that game, and after what they did, that's definitely going to push them way up the leaderboard.
That is right, and you see the God nades right there as Epic Whale was taken out. You were late to the game. Welcome back again, guys. This is the Ninja Battles, the first week of all the action unfolding here of the 6 sessions we'll be kind of having unfold. These are highlights from game number 3, the halfway mark already over. After this, we'll be approaching that game number 4. This is where young Calc went down, and now that kind of wide shot angle, Mega somehow manages to stay alive, coming in with just enough heals towards the end there. I mean, from what we knew, like we said, he had to have had at least 1 flopper more, or maybe an extra bandaged bazooka more. I think it's kind of underrated, but that bandaged bazooka, get 5 shots, 15 on the heel. That's what they were kind of cycling through right there.
You're gonna be able to
and
follow
it refreshes
all
too. So if you have
our
a stash of
tournaments,
a
live
couple
streams,
over
that
time after
will
you
be
get through your
hosted
flopper,
by
you start
Lucy
using the
Dredd.
bandaged bazooka up first, then you use your floppers, and then you use your bandaged bazooka again towards the end, because they've now cycled through many different refreshes.
That sounds good.
That's more potential heal off there. And man, yeah, I guess what I want to talk about in a lot of senses is starting to see kind of the impact elimination effect, and also how we see the leaderboards when we come back from break and take a look at those. The people who are playing for eliminations are actually going to start to rise over the people who are playing for placement, but not really playing for the win, like Zexro and them are playing, like Funkbomb and them are playing. So we might start to see the creepage of players who are playing for the elimination. We talked about Chap, Scoped, and AV last game. They fell early in that one, but teams like that are going to start to rise up the standings and get the piece of the big prize available this week.
Yeah, that's going to be the difference maker right there. Who can find an elims? Who can collect it all? But we'll return after this quick and short break right now. We'll see some more Fortnite action. We'll get you guys caught up real soon. Don't go anywhere.
No one's really around.
I'm
gonna have you set.
Nemo.
Yeah, 200 mats.
I have a lot.
A lot of people are dying. We're gonna get placement. So right here, I was like, we should wait until it gets fully built before we continue our tarp. Get fully built before you send out. I just got heavy snipe, and that's why I wanted to.
Okay.
I'm getting minigun fun.
Okay.
Look, I was good here. I was gonna make it back up. I was good.
We're doing good. Let's go, guys. We got 3 games.
Yeah, Pun. The big thing that cost me was so you were extending out with metal. If you watch my stream actually right now.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, close it. Okay, you tell me when you're watching.
I'm gonna watch.
I am now.
I like this.
Oh, wait. What? I have an ad. Hold on.
IGN.
Take my Amazon Prime.
Calais.
What?
Did you refresh and get another ad?
Yeah. Okay. I'm there.
Okay. Can I just start in? I only have so right here we get next zone. Or let me mute up so you don't hear me like double time. So right here we get next zone, so you start tarping over.
I have a lot.
And then a lot of people are dying. We're gonna get placement. And then right here I see that it's super easy for people to see through. Like we can get focused so easy here with the minigun. So I was about to say wait till it gets fully built, and I start saying that until you extend out. You know what I mean? Like let this get fully built. Let it get fully built before you extend out, and then I got heavy snipe down because I think he was snipe. Okay. And then look, I'm getting minigun fun. So I extended out, I edited, and then I ran out of mats. I was gonna make it back up.
Minigun.
I'm dead, and I have 4 floppers.
Yeah, builds. Yeah, that's rough. You were the chosen one, Nick. You were the chosen one.
But I mean, to be honest, I think the metal. He saw me through the metal. That's why. Like we should have just went back and let it get fully built. Yeah, I know. Or coned it. Yeah.
Or you know, but they threw their game off of that. You know that, right? I got a kill from them. So we traded 1, and then their whole team got focused.
Yeah.
They probably just needed like a kill or whatever. Like for whatever reason.
It was the same team that killed replays.
Money, you're gonna adapt to do what it takes to get up on top. We do have, of course, the standings from that last
game. They're about to show the leaderboard.
Yeah, they are.
This is your overall leaderboard. Zexro, Macwood, and Calc at 43 points. But look at this Mega with the 17 points in the last game, and the consistency for the rest of this. They've just made it a 6-point game.
That's right. It's the Victor Royale in combination with the eliminations. Now all of a sudden they're climbing their way up quite rapidly, actually.
Wait, is that from the last game or is that total?
Current. This is like updated.
Kind of since the beginning. We didn't really highlight them too much. Here's a look at the rest of your
They're doing this quick
competitors here.
I don't know how they're like getting all the score and stuff.
Avery though, 12 points there. Quick. As for Tilt, Innocence, and Jared as well. I can only assume that that's all off of the kind of the elims, right? Making 15. It far and making it stretch out.
What are we?
It must be.
Look at the points. Look at the points. Look how many points.
Yeah, 11th only has 16. Yeah, so we just need.
That's what I'm saying. Like everyone's around like the same points. It's just I don't know.
We got 7 points last game. That was good. Let's go. Oh, it's only 5 games. I thought it was 6 games.
No, ways to go.
Yeah, it's 5 more. It's 5 games.
Okay, so we have 2 games to do good here and shine.
Came hard in game number 2. 10 points available for them, but 16th place right now. They definitely got to do something to change things up.
Let's
and then
get it.
19th place, Ninja, Vivid, and Kalaza. We've seen how aggressive they're playing and how that's actually putting them in rough situations.
It's kind of crazy, right? They've really managed to put a lot of time into the game and a lot of minutes into each match, but still kind of struggling on the point threshold. That just shows you that the format favoring into top 12, where you earn that first placement, and elims can show that if you fall behind, you're falling behind fast, because teams like the ones in the top 5 right now, they're finding their little groove of consistency. And those one big kind of swing offs to really throw them up. But quite honestly, we haven't seen a team really go super crazy with the elims because not just yet.
Yeah, I think we've seen like 7 eliminations is kind of the top of the top. I mean, we saw Chap, Scoped, and AV do something special in game number 2, but they were nowhere to be found in game number 3 because of how difficult these like multi-way, possibly sometimes 4-way fights in the end game, in the box fight. So that's definitely difficult. It's definitely something that people are adjusting to a little bit. And I think to recap kind of what we saw in the standings, it's a 6-point game at the top. Even though we've seen dominance out of Young Calc, Macwood, and Zexro, we're not seeing them really lead the pack by huge numbers. That we at least I expected them to be up.
Yeah, I mean, who I didn't expect to be up there, EMAD and Mega coming in. When we looked at the roster, you kind of look at it all. It's like, oh, maybe they do all right, but they're doing really, really good right now. Consistent. That last game was a pop-off game for them. Definitely Mega stealing away the Victor Royale is going to be the little bump up threshold to make them very much relevant in the competition right now. It's looking good for them.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And like Bizzle said, his favorite part about Fortnite is waking up and seeing what changed and adapting to it because, and today he's doing just that. I mean, this normal default playlist and the heal off meta is definitely throwing people for a loop, but clearly they're adapting to it well. Mega, of course, accomplished and starting to be in the conversation for some of the best over the last couple of seasons, at least since World Cup. And even, you know, combining with World Cup, Mega is up there in players who are the best of the best. Same with Bizzle. Then to add Emad, he's the viewing party champ right now. So they're definitely riding on a very good vibe. And leading into this last 2 games, we might see them do something again.
Yeah, Emad's definitely riding a crazy wave right now. I mean, even the performance that he's been able to put up for the FNCS that just kind of concluded, it's all really good. It's all really good for him right now. And well, let's just talk about that for a little bit, guys. These guys are coming out of a completely different competitive mindset and mode right now, right? So, I mean, everyone is sharp, very, very much sharp. The toolbox is ready to get put to work here.
100%. As we get ready for game number 1, game number 4, sorry, we're moments away from that. You're right, Monster. This is a completely different mindset, but also, you know, just got to shout out to this because this is a fun tournament, man. I think community's enjoying it. Everybody's enjoying it because it's a throwback to old vibes, different games, game modes and stuff like that. Just a fun environment overall. The players are having a good time. I know the community's having a good time. I've seen the love on Twitter for the event. So good shout outs to the team putting it together and also Ninja and his crew as well.
Absolutely. Got to show appreciation to the community for coming through and making this all come to life here. We're jumping into game number 4 here for the Ninja Battles event, guys. Once again, it's Monster D-Face and Ball TW. You guys the action on the mic. Hope you guys at home are vibing here. We're on the tail end right now, the last leg of the competition right now. Looks like Benny Hogman and Cypher PKM get more ambitious with the drop spot now, landing directly on top of the Gen G crew right now. And oh my gosh, Meowsicles is in the battle right now. He's down in the thick of it. Remember, his AR hits for so much HP here. You can see Benny's in a very bad situation right now. And oh my gosh, connects all the way through. And look, Meowsicles jumps in the fight and actually helps out to catch Maddie as well. Jeez, what is happening here? The chaos.
Oh my goodness. Meowsicles just saved Benny from the backside of that. I mean, he did play that fantastically, but it looked like he was getting chased down by him. And then all of a sudden, he switches up, turns around, and goes straight for the Gen G team. And now Cypher, PK Hogman, and Benny have taken them out twice now. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, Calc, Zexro, and Macwood still up to their old tricks, still up to their old shenanigans. They're in the lead by 6 points right now, and potentially putting themselves in place to win the game. I don't think they've lost their lead or even come close to losing it over the 3 games so far. And they've just improved their score every single time. I think possibly the only team to really do that. And now, one more chance to solidify the lead and make it so insurmountable going into game 5.
That's right. And here's Arkram now trying to get his fish on, showing you guys how it is that these pros are putting together the monstrous loadout of fish and bringing them into the end game. It's all about gathering the resources. And since everyone's doing it, they all are quite literally compounding them in a big pool at the very end. As the zone forces everyone closer and closer together. There's reverse keys and slacks now getting their farm on. You can just see from the map they are very much spread out right now. Just gathering what they can, and it's kind of what the game is going to be in this early situation right now. Things are settling. Loadouts are coming together right now.
We've seen the results of a lot of different adjustments players are making, and not only making to the normal mode, but also just to the smaller amount of players in the lobby, smaller amount of teams. And clearly that's going into the factor when we think about Ninja and his team and how they're playing these aggressive fights, because sure, when you do engage in them, there's actually less space for teams to be in and to make these fights risky. So they're kind of a little bit safer when you think about it. So engagements, in a sense, are a little bit more incentivized than normal, but still obviously very risky no matter what in the game of competitive Fortnite. Looking at keys right now, keeping tabs on where Booga, Stretch, and Commandment are. Could possibly get some tags on them all the way in Slurpee. Reverse backing away as well. They're going to make their way over towards the center of where zone is. We're already in second, and don't forget that there's been a change this week as well to these zones.
Here, though, looks like there's a little battle right now at the agency. Unknown, Kanata, and Assault rolling up. They already had given up the Shark. We know that. Looks like now they're playing off a little more center map here. Salty Springs and then quickly rotating on in right now. A little bit of fight here. Assault looking for better angles. This is what it's all about. And he's going all the way with the C4 now to throw them off the high ground. And remember, agency in this format, in the normal format, you can't imagine this team has a lot of loot, a lot of material. Not at all. So hard to gather here, let alone gather across 3 people in a normal Fortnite setting.
And they are trying to get the drum gun now. Last time it was the Shark on Nate Hill and Funk Bomb, but this time Assault going on to another very, very strong team. The team coming out of West right now, and there's going to be a ping disadvantage, so they're getting on the walls very aggressively, although I don't know if they necessarily know exactly who's landing or who they're facing up against. A game of incomplete information. So Arkham and Epic and Rex on the back foot right now. They're trying to hold on to the drum gun and hold on to what they got out of the vault.
And that's one thing you guys might be noticing is, yes, Epic Whale does not run a shotgun, not in any game mode. If he has the drum gun, he will heavily rely on it. You see here, pay close attention. If he jumps in this box, he will delete a player. Kanata's kind of realizing that. He's going to back up now. He's singled them out, forcing them lower and lower towards the vault, trapping them. Still looking for angles right now, playing it nice and slow, trying to see if they can optimize or capitalize on a mistake, quite honestly. Looking for control of the box now, Balla. He's getting closer and closer. That's their wall. Slowly running out of space here. Epic's going to get tagged for a headshot from Kanata. And ooh, the shotgun shot in return from Arkram. The champ of the West right now. He's going to find Kanata here. And now all of a sudden it's not looking so good. Assault's going to get wrapped up as well. And just like that, they capitalize on the mistake, pushing in. It's like they fell for the bait.
Absolutely. It looked like Arkham, Rex, and Epic Whale have worked this multiple times in other situations because they know the lay of the agency. They know the loadouts, or the layouts. And Arkham comes up from behind on the overpass the bridge there and wipe unknown Kanata and Assault. So they're still not finding footing in these games. They're still not finding the way to get this early game rolling for them. Here, we're looking at Bizzle, Emad, and Mega, and look at what they're doing. They've got a chopper, and they're going over Slurpy Swamps. They're going over all this fishing route, and that's how they gain themselves the fish, at least the base of fish, to start things off in the end game, to start them in contention for this. So just looping around through that entire loop path is huge.
And they're quite honestly the only team that's really close to the heels of Young Cal, Xextra, and Macwood, who are in first place, only a 6-point difference maker. If they go out, you can get them out early enough, or, you know, kind of get the elims you need and swing things in your favor. That will be your team that's taking a stab for first place right now, the closest to the throne. Jo, Snyrot, JDW have been struggling in this competition so far. 0 points accrued. 20th place right now, trying to see if they can find something. Nick A30 replays and Punisher, though, giving up the angle there. They didn't like the fact that they were in the low ground, so they're going to be running away right now. They have some healing to do, though.
HP situation really dire for, you know, it's funny, we keep calling him one of Geomock or Snero, but we're just guessing at that.
Yeah,
it is
at this point,
both
we're
of those
just
players, but you never know. They got the numbers switched up. We could figure it out, but I don't know, man. We'll just randomly throw a name on one of them.
I was gonna say, I'm quite literally assigning in the battle, and I'm keeping it that way. So I'm trying to keep it uniform.
Same. But every battle is different.
Yeah. Here's Ninja, kind of swinging around right now. Once again, guys, Monster D-Face Ball TW here, delivering all the action. I know you guys are watching the official broadcast on Ninja's channel. We're happy to be here. We have so much competition coming in the coming weeks here, so get comfortable with the voices. Here, though, they're also kind of in the running still, right? They have to pick things up right now. Top 12 to break into prizing, to add to your, you know, Fortnite tracker, your esports earnings. These will count. Competition here. Nate Hill.
This is interesting. Coming out of the Shark, Nate Hill has the grappler, obviously, and his team left early. Nate Hill stayed back to loot even more, possibly get even more fish, and then catch up with the grappler. Now they've got the boat. They can use the grappler to propel themselves a little bit faster than normal, but not too much. Doesn't make that much of an impact. I mean, over time, it definitely does. JDW, Snero, and Geomok right now looking at Ninja, looking at Collazo, but they're pinched. No, sorry. They're on the front side of this, and they might get into another fight. Ninja and company has always found somebody to engage with at this stage of the game. If they're not careful, it's going to be JDW and crew who are lurking right behind them.
That's the question, right? Did they learn from the previous battles? We'll see. These early game engagements have so much risk for players, especially in that resource pool. So it's a matter of committing or running, and Ninja and his team are going to use the pads here. I like what they did. They set those up well in advance. Now they're trying to cut across and, ooh, actually breaking the pad right there, forcing Vivid to get stuck behind. And now Ninja has to double back, as does Collazo. And this is what we mean by committing to the battles. Look at all the resources. Now throwing all those grenades, and Ninja is going to find JDW stuck on 1 HP now. He's going to fall into the river. And this might be a free 3 points here. Balla, things are really swinging in their favor right now. Yes, JDW is going to get found by Vivid now, and they're collapsing into, I'm going to sign this guy. This is Geomok. They're collapsing on Geomok right now.
There's no escape, especially as the C4 gets thrown right on top of him. Although, all of a sudden, Snero has come up on the high ground. He's C4 and Collazo, no damage found, though. And now, a 1 versus 3. Especially just throwing all the explodes. Possibly just get some damage done on the Vivid. Possibly can take him out if he can get in the box on the side of the wall. Yes, he goes. But no, Vivid backs out in another box. And now I think the team is going to be here to back him up.
That's right. I'm seeing it now. They're going to break him down. And now he's in a box by himself here. He is going to successfully manage to get back up to height. As Vivid, Ninja, and Collazo are just hunting him down, working all together. Ninja doing the chop down of the builds, not letting him get too comfortable there. He couldn't build. Here's Vivid back against the wall now. Ninja coming to the rescue from up above. Let's see if he can find a shot. Vivid's going to find the one he needs. Everyone's going to fall in. And there, Sneerock goes down.
So, Snero loses the backside of this. The 1 versus 3, unfortunately, does not go in his way. And where to go from here from Ninja and crew? They did win their mid-game fights this time. It all pays off. Commandment, Stretch, and Booga did get into engagement with Saf, Zate, and 72 Hours. I believe they took out 72 Hours. Now they're looking for nades on top of where Zate is. He looks like he's by himself. He's gotten a big base and then left it, essentially. Here's the nades. It's not going to find anything unless Zate goes back for whatever reason. We'll blow up that base, get the real estate, possibly now get that drop that's in fray. No, they're actually going to use the crash pads to go right on top of Zate. They know where he is, apparently. He's underneath the docks, though. This is going to be hard to find, but I think Booga and crew know about this situation, know that this can actually play out for them.
You got to think about it, right? They saw the fresh metal. They know, wait, this guy's got to be so close, and this is why they're rolling up so aggressively onto the shack here. But the chest, being that he left the chest, might be just enough to stay in, and no, Zate tries to be very cheeky, but, you know, you're talking about the IQ and game sense of the best right now. Booga's going to find Zate here and wipe him up. Out he goes. That's going to be a full team wipe right there. Game changer for them as they find 3 early elims right now.
Some of the best in the game, not finding any success right here in this one. I think they're playing possibly a little too aggressively or just not playing for the mode. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with them. Looking though at Bucky, Cease, and I believe Creo right there in the box on top of a mountain. We're looking back basically to where game 1 ended up playing out in terms of the Misty Meadows type ending down south. Reverse 2Ks, Keys, and Slacks are not actually in position, even though based on how the zone played, we should have expected them to be already down on that south side of zone, given that they play in Slurpy Swamps.
See the heals being thrown here to bully, leaving the top of the box open. That was actually kind of cool. The mini is just being chucked across. One of those newer mechanics being utilized in these now bigger base team mode game modes here. Coming out of that solo season, we haven't seen too much utilization of the throwing feature. Seems like it's going to be more and more, prominent come the trios game settings here now. Booga being active right now. Again, this team so very active, trying to see what they can find. It's Keys. He's going to take shots at. It's not going to find Keys right there. A bit of a hit and a miss. close to reverse as well, threading the needle there. They're going to have to fully build out. Yep. It's going to be the material sacrifice. Playing it safe now. Grenades are going to be so close as well there to connect. All these shots just to force them to build so that they can gain that lead there. Notice Booga didn't have to build at all because he was doing the firing. So that's the difference in being the alpha in the rotation.
How's this going to play moving forward, though? Who has the heals? We definitely see a drop-off, a significant drop-off in the amount of players alive at this stage of the game. 4 squads have gone down already. Stretch Booga Commandment obviously had the one of those to make that happen. He's going to back off. Big shots coming off the side of the mountain. There's a lot of room, actually, even still at the side of the mountain, so I'm surprised to see those. Funk Bomb and Nate Hill are coming down off the hill with Bully.
I was going to say, Booga found keys right there in the building, so just rolling up to the squad that was hiding out, they're going to get taken out, at least find Booga. Now, all of a sudden, they have the lead in this battle where they were opened up with on the fire with a 77 shot. So we're seeing all the angles right now. Reverse 2K is somehow going to avoid all the fire coming in from the mountain. I think that's Avery, Ewok, and Cruz, Zypha sitting up top, firing in. Reverse 2K losing keys now. It's only up to Slacks in reverse here. They're so split up, I believe. No, they are going to find one another. Slacks cutting through the buildings now. And yeah, you do see Zypha up there. Turning back, though. So aggressive, so active right now. They're not here for the heal offs. They're here for the fights, trying to close the gap here, Balla. They're jumping in now. Booga, heavy sniper in hand, already threw all the nades here, forcing Nate Hill and Bully to box up, slow down, hit the red light. Funk separated on the side as well. That minigun, we know how good it is in team-based modes. If he just finds a proper angle, this could all be it. And there again, throwing of the fish.
Definitely could be. Commandment, Booga, and Stretch are playing so aggressively in this game, and I think this is definitely what we expected coming off into the back half of these games. Nate Hill getting sprayed from the mountain too. No, I believe that's actually Booga on the backside. Commandment gets in the box and ends Nate Hill immediately. A great shot from the side, and also the great pressure from the hands of Booga. Stretch, though, gets beamed. All of a sudden, I think that was from Bully down below. I don't even think there's a third party in this fight at all, even though there should be off of the mountain, but there's just not enough teams there.
Yeah, Booga's looking out for the third party right now with that heavy sniper. If anyone looks into the fight, he's going to meet them with the heavy. As Commandment, Stretch now still hunting, working with one another right now, trying to see what they can find. Knowing that they already took out Nate Hill, they know what team they're fighting, Funk and Bully. What's left of them down below. We're actually going to catch the zone too here. This could be really big for them because the material, they'll be able to grab it. And oh, they get the best of the best loot right there. It's the grappler.
Ninja actually in a fight, he's still up. He just took out Zexro. Meanwhile, Booga, Commandment, Stretch are going to try to clean up this entire fight. Find Bully, the last player left on that squad. There's a crash pad actually interrupting in this one, although I think they could use that to phase up, but Bully holding on. Funk is coming from the backside, so there still is 2 remaining, but there's a C4, and Funk makes this so difficult now. Commandment has to clutch up. Booga also alive in this fight, holding on to this. Bully, though, knows the HP situation. He wants to get into this box.
Commandment trying to keep him alive, throwing his teammate back, but the shots are still coming. Bully's trying to push all the way through. Booga now getting hunted down by the rest of Funk and Bully here. Commandment going for the save. Booga's going to get ironed out right there, and Bully now finds him, harpoon into the box. He's trying to get in on Commandment here. Cancels the heal for Stretch. Commandment looking to crank up. He has so much material, the cat, in the normal game mode. Means that this fight can last for quite some time. And yes, he's going to take the grappler, try to escape. Probably the best thing he can do here in this situation. Explodes are coming in. The focus from the rest of the lobby. Yes, he's going to be found out there. Avery on heights from a distance is going to fire down and take him out. Now they're harpooning for the gear here, trying to see what they can grab. Edgy and Riverson, though, come in and jump on all the loot. So they're not even going to be able to grab what they earned. They kind of stole away there, the free point, though.
So looking in the distance, Scoped, Chap, and AV have high ground. There is Ninja, Colazo, and Vivid coming in the backside. They're inside of the Misty Meadows. Now on the side of it, they've got to push a little bit more center. Center, though, is Chap, Scoped, and AV. I'm wondering now who's on that mountain, who's coming off of the side, because that's going to be a tough rotate without a launch pad. Although everybody should definitely be equipped with one of those. 13 teams left now. A wide shot again. Emad, Mega, Bizzle are on the left side of the screen in the middle of the river, essentially. See it from the backside. Here's Rex and Epic Whale up on the hill. Jared, Tilts, and Innocents are there. The game 1 winners, and Arkram by himself. Wondering if his teammate's still alive. No, I don't think so at all. I think he's still trying to fight this entire full. No, there they are. Arkram, Rex, and Epic Whale are still all alive, going up against Innocents and crew.
And we talked about Macwood, Calc, and Zexro potentially being taken out by Ninja's team, and what that means for the lobby is that Emad and Mega, Bizzle are still up in the game. You saw them comfortable in the mid game, so this is their opportunity to actually take first place, that consistency. But Arkham's jumping in, and he's going to find Jared FPS there. Takes out that entire team. Tilt going down with him as well to Epic Whale. And just like that, they find themselves another 3 elims, a full team wipe. Now 2 teams falling to them. Here's a look at everyone left in the lobby right now, and yes, I do still see Ninja's team in the mix right now. There, Vivid, Colazo, each have several eliminations. Very, very active right now, Bala.
That it is, but you know what I'm not seeing active in this lobby? I know we saw Ninja take out Zexor, but where is Macwood and Calc? Did they actually finish this off? Ninja and crew has 5 eliminations total. So it's possible they took out the entire squad of that, and it's possible that they now have made it so that Bizzle, Mega, and Emad can take the lead in this game. Obviously, Ninja and crew might rise up the ranks significantly, but I don't know if they can actually overtake the first place. What it's done have given everybody else in the lobby hope, for sure.
Means first place is up for grabs right now. Ninja in a interesting fight here. Ship and Stanleys. This is the second time now we've seen these teams collide here, game after game. Yes, there it is. Scoped on height, Chap and AV perched up, looking out at different angles. You get to see that POV right now. Here's AV looking down at the fights. He sees the shots being thrown about from Ship and Stammies, basically providing assistance to Ninja, who is under pressure. Here's Ninja's POV, still on the fight right now, hunting someone down. He is gonna find it. Benny gets instantly eliminated, but the C4 is gonna answer to Ninja. Now he loses all of the shield. It's okay, he does manage to bounce back. Oh,
now
man.
It's 6 elims for that squad. AV, Chap, and Scoped have lost the high ground against Epic Whale, Arkram, and Rex, but at what cost for that team as Scoped starts to make them pay? I believe they've already gotten a knock. Yes, that's Rex down and out. Whereas the drum gun of Epic Whale, he doesn't even have shield to really contest this, and also the minigun gonna make them really pay for going for that high ground. I think they still have it. I think they're still holding on, but I don't know if they actually know that and have that information.
Emad still in the game right there. I'm only seeing him as a solo. No, there's Mega. Okay, so he still has his crew. That's the team to look out for. This is the team who's been the most active right now. 6 elims, as we said. These are big points for them. They were trailing behind the back page. This is a big rising tide right now coming in for Ninja, Vivid, and Colazo, who are looking pretty good, but Ninja's got to back up to heal now. Still so much going down. No, Vivid gets knocked. Ship is actually going to catch a little bit of revenge here for Stammies and Pledge. And Stammies is still in the game. Also, no shield, though. They're all split up. Look at all the shots. The lobby is literally collapsing on them. He's backed up kind of into corners. All the chaos now. Remember, the zone is only going to keep falling into the center here. It's only going to get crazier and crazier. Stammies is going to fall finally to Avery. On height, though, is Scoped, AV, and Chat. No heals in their inventory. We know they did pick some up, though, just earlier, so we'll see how much they have. Kind of crazy right now.
Still see Ninja somewhere getting a couple elims, but we are down to the last 11 teams, and we are in this penultimate zone up on high ground with Chap, AV, and Scoped. Obviously, Ship by himself, I think, in the last moments. There's first appearance in these last final moments. He does have a bandaged bazooka, but not much more. He's definitely got to find himself elim. Mega builds out a box right next to him, so that's possibly a cache that they might be able to tap into. At least an extra bandaged bazooka, which will have dividends there. Finally, the end of Colazo and crew, but they did have at least 7 or 8 eliminations in this game. That's definitely huge. That will rise them in the ranks for sure. Chap with what looks like We have 11 floppers for Chap. Scoped and AV are starting to work their way down and find more. Funk Bomb is by himself in this game. There's potential there for him to have a lot. Mega has 6. Visual and EMAT, how many do they have? This is time where the splits are going to come in because we're in 9th zone. We got one more to go after this.
You might be thinking, why isn't Mega healing his shield right now? It's because he wants to save it for the final moments. It's all about the HP and surviving that, optimizing. Avery with 4 fish right now, trying to figure out what he's going to do with his flopper stash. He's by himself. There are players nearby. Quick edit on Bully. It's only going to find a little chip there, but these are all controlled walls by him, and he's forced into the zone right now. Great edits on the backup here. Look at Chap does not care, quite literally sitting up top, emoting, enjoying the sun right now. Must be nice. As everyone else is in a completely different kind of, storm of turmoil here, Bala.
Yeah, 100%. Mega down below trying furiously to break through these boxes, find extra fish, and feed them to whoever it is who's going to be the heal-off designated in this game. Bully has 2, and he's actually going on the aggressive. He needs to give this up to maybe his teammate, Funk. AV on the other side. Can he actually win this fight? This is huge. Right now to the stairs. Yes, the flip. And he takes out AV. Well played from Bully. And there's a launch pad there, but where's Funk so he can get down? There's a bandaged bazooka. He's got to feed this to his teammate. Here's Mega going down. He's dropped the slurpfish. Edgy trying to go against Edgy. Sorry, Emad trying to go against Edgy. He gets taken out. And now Funk Bomb, 12 floppers of his own, does not get the fed. He has a bandaged bazooka, no weapons available, and in a box he really has no escape except a couple of edits on the backside of this. Yes, he does. And we're down to 7 players left. Chap with 11 floppers. He has a big say in this, but Bizzle with way more fish than anybody in this game, and I don't know if there's a bandaged bazooka available for him. It's possible.
This is a repeat of before, but wait, Chap finds another stash as well, so it looks like everyone has some different play up their sleeves. How's it all going to play out now? We'll find out as replays finally falls to the storm now. 4 players remaining. Chap trying to get some vision here. There it goes. You get the nice VOV. This time we're stepping up one more time. You get to see how many angles are in play right now. Chap, 5 fish left in the inventory. Bizzle clearly in the lead with 12 right now. And this is looking like Bizzle's game here, Bala. I don't see how anyone else can come back unless they find him in the midst of all the builds.
Doing the math, it's definitely Bizzle ahead, but there's more, loot down in this ground, in this entire mess of builds. It's possible that somebody could find a bandaged bazooka. Chap is looking for it. He's out of fish now, though, and the timing is not good for him, so he's down and out. It's just Scented. Funk is still in this too. Bizzle alive. He's got 6. Funk Bomb now moving, possibly out of fish. Chap goes down as well. He's got a bandaged bazooka. He can move with this and still get more. I think it's going to be Bizzle, but the big cash. Is there any fish? No, frantically looking. He's got nothing. Bizzle still with 3. Who's the last? I believe on the other side, it must be Scented down below. Yes, it is. Scented healing off, and Bizzle's starting to break through. Who's got more fish? It's basically the question. 1 more for Bizzle. How many for Scented? Because that's what it comes down to. Bizzle, is there anything more in your box? No, he's done. He's out. What is it? Scented? No, he's bandaged bazooka. No, just barely about to get the shot off. The refresh. And I think it would have been enough, at least, to make this a full-on 50-50. It's Bizzle who takes it out, and they've got 4 eliminations too. Monster, I think they just took the lead.
Probably. We saw how early Young Cal, Zexer, and Macro were taking out the game by Ninja's team right there. That's a huge kind of swing of kind of events here for us. Remember, so much prizing on the line right there. It would definitely suck to have the lead this far. So this last game is going to be a big one for what would have been our #1 reigning team. And don't forget, Bizzle, yes, like you said, that's Emad and Mega's crew right there. They were in second place. So the big swing, at the very least, we know that's a 3-point, kind of closeout for the Victory Royale, 10 points total. So they're up there right now.
Absolutely, but don't forget, Scented and Crew obviously got second place, and they could have got a bunch of elims too, so they could be right in the mix up at the top 2. It was a 6-point game between them and Calc and Crew, so who knows where this is going to go. We've got 1 more game, Monster, to determine it, and 1 more game to really crown, I guess, the flopper champions of this tournament so far in Ninja Battles.
Hey, man, and that's what it's all about right there. Who's going to take home another big piece of the prize right now? It's all in the air, though. We'll be back right after this short break here. Pretty sure. Oh, no, actually, sorry. We're going straight to the highlights to get you guys all caught up. Excuse me here. Here it is. It's Maddie going down right now. This is quite probably honestly the funniest fight we saw. Meowsicles jumping in this, and somehow Vinny gets away alive right there. We're kind of catching all up.
Yeah, that was an insane fight. I mean, ridiculous. And then there was the rampage from Vivid, Ninja, and crew, who went all the way through. Booga taking out Zate, good friends, but also fierce competitors. He knows exactly all the tricks. And they chased that fight down for sure. And this was the big one. This one actually had huge implications. Don't forget, Funk was in towards the end of this game. Commandment Booga stretch W-keyed them for whatever reason on the side of Misty Meadows here, possibly knowing that it was a safe fight. And Funk came out ahead of it, or came out on top of it, taking out 3 of some of the best players in the world.
It was that grappler. He managed to kind of run away and save face there. So grappler in its own, paying dividends and giving him a bunch of points. Here's your man of the hour, Ninja Colazo, getting into the fight. And my gosh, the big shotgun shots right there. And here, sun tanning, no care in the world, Chapel on the height. Maybe you should have been more active, because they did not take the victory, even with all that, you know, kind of moments to kind of hang out there. There's your winning moment from Bizzle. The fish, the heels, the banish bazooka, just enough to stay alive at the very end.
Yep, 100%. Just barely edging the way through, although he was about to heavy snipe in that box. Guys, we got one more game ahead of us, and we are going to have to go to a quick break before that. So stay with us. We got the last game of Ninja Battles.
I'm down. Down for whatever.
What are you thinking?
I think let's go Aura. Let's go Aura. Down for Aura.
Aura? No, I don't like Aura.
Okay, I'm down to go back to technique. Let's go back to the OG skin.
Yeah, that's a good skin. That's a good skin.
How do you spell technique?
Spell tilted.
Oh, Ninja actually made the best idea.
Oh.
This is so fun.
This is fun.
Let's go, bro. I love 4K map meta so much.
Yeah.
4K map meta is the best. When me and Cloud were playing in Twitch Rivals, we won, like, we all, like, it's like, because 3K map meta. I love 3K map meta. It's so much better. So much better. Let's go.
Eclipse, yo, that's so, bro. Eclipse, they can literally just 1v2 this.
Fucking Skyscar. Got me there. Okay, let's go.
Needs to leave,
I'll
man.
get one more team and back out. I don't.
D-Man's gonna have more money. Nah, it's not considered comp, PJ.
Alright, fuck it. I'm backing out, alright? I'm gonna jump on. Yeah, I dropped everything on my body. Alright, backing out. Alright, I'll be back.
You guys invite me?
Back to the Ninja Battles event here.
Already?
D-Face on the mic right now. We're Balla TW. We just came out of game number 4. Balla, we're in the last leg right now. It's game 5, just kind of underway. We obviously has leaderboards in front of us, but one thing we forgot to mention in the previous game was that we had some back-to-back winners.
Yeah, that was back-to-back for Mega, Bizzle, and Emad. Obviously, we saw that Game 3 win off the backs of Mega coming out of nowhere with more floppers than anybody in the game. And then Bizzle did it in that last one. So back-to-back with a couple of Liams, too. And we'll have standings here shortly to actually see where that puts them. But we got one more game ahead of us, Monster. And I couldn't be more excited to see this last one because there's been surprises, there's been ups and downs. And here it is. First is taken by Emad, Bizzle, and Mega. 51 points, but it's only a 3-point game. Riverside, Edgy, and Sentinel are right behind.
My gosh, you can see what happens when you only pull 1 point in a game. All of a sudden, your lead is long and gone here. So this last game is going to be a huge one for, I would say, the teams in the top 4 right now. If everyone does manage to get knocked out early, that's it. Your run's kind of gone, long gone there. Here's a look at your other competitors so far. Remember, top 12 are the ones that are fighting for the prizing here. So it's really a matter of at least getting that outside of course, Pride coming out on the first page.
Yeah, a big game for Arkham Rex and Epic Whale there. 12 points to push them up into that top 10. On the back side of this, though, we got 8 points from Nick 830 Replays and Punisher because Replays was in that final heal-off. He was contending with Bizzle, with everybody. So the 8 points there will rocket them up. They're starting to play the game mode. They're starting to play it correctly, at least how everybody else has figured it out, too.
People that do need to figure it out is J.O. Mott, Sneerot, and JDW, though. Still 0 points coming into the final game. Can they kind of save face and pump themselves up just a little bit here? But regardless of what, we're all having some good fun here. I'm sure they are too. What would be, the first trio competition of the season that we've seen in quite some time. So team dynamic, battle dynamic, also different. Obviously, it's just under the game mode that we're playing right now. Of course, these end games are also very different than what we're used to.
And to speak on that a second, I know that a lot of people are excited about the fact that Arena Trios was just released and came out. We will be, next week switching over to that. But for now, we're going to finish things and close this last game on the default playlist, continuing with what we've seen, just because we don't want to switch it up mid-tournament. So next week, we will be switching over to that Arena Trios format and see basically the first tournament in Season 2 with Trios, which will be pretty exciting.
Hey, this right here is basically like a free stab at 25K if you really think about it, right? Like it's anyone's ball game right now, 50-50. Yep. If it was, just you kind of figuring things out, good for you. But yes, like Bala just mentioned, this next one coming up, that's going to really amplify things up and get us more on track for some good competition. We're talking a lot of changes. Let's just kind of fill in the community tuning in right now, the difference between public game mode and arena.
Yeah, you have Siphon, which is a big one. You get mats on elim, so that's 150 of each material type. And then you get the health as well, the 50 health, either to your health or shield. And then on top of that, the mats actually are harvested faster. So you have a 40% increased farming rate, and it's capped at 500, as well as Monster with all of the item changes. The loot pool is completely different.
Yeah, Then, of course, there is that zone, right? The way the zone dynamic works, it actually moves. It's unpredictable, really kind of leaving things in the air, making it that much more intense towards the very end. We're getting word, though, the battle bus is just now warming up as we're approaching this final game right here. Bala, our top 3 teams are in for an interesting last game. If any one of them falls down early, that's it. Their run's over. No one is safe right now.
100%, and keep those thresholds in mind. Between first and second, it's 3 points. That's what Scented, Edgy, and Crew need to get to overtake Bizzle and Crew. And at the third place is Young Calc, Zexro, and Macwood, who are leading up to this point. And now they've got to get 7 points on the board to make this work over top of first place if they want to get and walk away with that $25,000 prize, as you mentioned.
That's right. Only getting 1 point back there for the FNCS Trios champs. It's not looking too good for them. We'll see if the odds are in their favor as we bend into this last game right here. I mean, let's talk about Bizzle, Emad, and, the Mega right there. We didn't see. Do you remember where they're landing right now? I'm having a hard time kind of drawing this one, but
we saw them. We saw them flying through slippery swamps. Remember their path with the helicopter, with the chopper, grabbing all the fish out of slippery swamps, not giving Booga Stretch and company any chance to actually loot that on the side of that. So very, very ingenious, creative, and it's possibly a reason why we see them at this top. The top, we'll have to tune in with them again. But something of note, Calc, Zexro, and them are still uncontested over there. Funk Bomb and Nate Hill, paired with Bully, have Shark uncontested too. So definitely a lot of potential for a lot of teams to make a mark on this game.
That's right, and they have to work for these uncontested locations, guys, because at the start of the competition, it was not for free. It was only after really proving that they can take the fights here and win the fights. Or is it free? Gen G, though, Carly, Tina, Raisin, Maddie actually switch up their drop, no longer landing at Meowsicles, instead going for the retail row fight. Tina's going to come way overhead with an aggressive push into what would be Sneerot here. Now, Tina's on the run right now. That probably was her last launch pad. Yes, it was crash pad being used already. She does have control of the high ground, though. She being tagged means that she doesn't have shield, so has to back up to her teammate Carly here now. But JD finds the angle from the side, and they trade off Elims for one another.
That they do, but instantly Steerot also gets a tag on the backside of that. I think it's Carly and Maddie still up to save the day here against Jailmock and crew. Definitely have not necessarily been playing competitive Fortnite at the highest level back to back over the last couple of weeks. Now we'll see. Can Sneerot actually make it work against Maddie and Carly? There's a big shot onto Carly. She does take her down, but Maddie finishes things off. You got to be careful though. You've got to get this revive up quick. You've got to get your mats farmed back up into it because Ship on the backside of Retail Row is also here, but scoped with a heavy snipe off of the Grotto Mountain. Takes Ship out, and all of a sudden there's more time for Maddie and Genji.
Hey, you got to give credit though. At least they did finally manage to get their first elim. So point on the board for the boys right there. Here's a look at the agency though. We know the last time we tuned in here, Unknown, Kanata, and Assault rotated in late, but now it seems like they actually landed there. Gonna go toe-to-toe with Epic Whale, Rex and his crew for the agency loot. Now though, AV, Scoped, and Jab kind of rolling in from the grotto early this time.
They literally rolled over Ship and crew so fast. I mean, we started that fight off with a nice heavy snipe, and then they both launch, actually all three of them launch on top of where they're at, and they're launching more. This is a W key game for AV, Scope, and Chat. Clearly, they know what's going on. They are launching right on top of Maddie and Carly, and they've got nothing. We saw what they had. It was literally nothing available for them. Maddie in the distance, they don't know that Carly's underneath, but they're gonna have to break out in a fight, and I don't even think they have materials to even take this.
No, I don't think they care though. You know how the dynamic works towards the end game. The last game is usually just throw it all out there. If you want to play for first place, you got to pick up the elims. So this is what they're going to do, trying to make, you know, make and break these clips right here, catching players one at a time. And oh yes, the shakedown. So Carly was hidden before under the kind of bridge here. And that shakedown is going to give Chap the indicator. He's waiting for the crew to come through. Look, he's got the rocket nice and ready. Oh no, the collapse coming in, and boom, the box is broken into, and that's it. Nothing Carly can do.
Oh my goodness. I was laughing there because Scope got that pickup on a Maddie, and then they literally left her there and just started rolling forward because they're still going to W key into Lazy Lake. So the aggressiveness coming in this last game, Cypher, Biddy, and Hogman doing the same thing on a Bucky, and Creo move all the way up into Misty Meadows. Now they're getting naded and pressured from this side at the center island. And I think the approach is coming in from Hogman. Yes, they're definitely going to get on the offensive.
There you see the angles now. It's taking it to height just a little bit here. Cypher PK trying to get up on to Creo, but I think the C4 there is going to break him down, and now they're going to reconnect here. Got to throw some fish here for Cypher to heal up. He is going to get tagged and punished a fair amount. Vinny only has 4 shotgun shots right now. You can see with Meowscle's rifle, they came from the side here, and ooh, that's how much damage it can do. Just 2 shots onto Bucky, and all of a sudden it's rough. Proximity mines being thrown out. Just talk about how the loot pool works so differently. It's kind of funny to watch these new items be put into play here. Good little shots. Creel's hurt. He's gonna get taken out. Now Vinny finds
and
it.
On the other side too, Vinny, as he was spraying down the final moments of Creo there, he actually found Bucky with a headshot on that SMG as he came through. Looking like he's spraying down multiple players. So Vinny, Cypher, and Hogman found a squad wipe too. And now that's 2 back-to-back. Actually, 3 back-to-back squads completely eliminated from the game. We're already down to 15 teams. And now things are going to slow down because there's not that many in proximity with each other. But still, clearly, teams getting loose, playing aggressive in this final game.
You're seeing a difference too. It's not fights that are, you know, being drug out, right? These were ended fairly quickly for what it's worth. Most of the fights we saw up until this point in these early games lasted for some time. Players were, you know, disengaging and whatnot. So very different dynamic. Replace Punisher, Nick A30 were so close to this previous battle of Cypher PK and crew being in the chopper right now. They can become the focus. The zone seems to be favoring the southern portion though. So this is why they're kind of doubling back right now, trying to figure out where it is that they want to park up. They're going to find a launch pad right here. Nice little find, swinging through some loot. See a drop box on the map there as well.
Here it is, by the way. You were asking, where were they dropping? It's the rig. I should have known. Mega lands here. Bizzle also tweeted it this morning, too. So they've got the rig uncontested. Look at where Bizzle is. This is classic coming out of this team. Bizzle always gets as big splits as he possibly can. He's all the way up at the logjam west of Weeping Woods, while Emad and Mega are at the rig. So Bizzle holding on by himself a big distance away from his teammates. But don't forget, they take that chopper, they start to fish, and also go pick up and swoop Bizzle right up. Ninja, uncontested Dirty Docks, still.
I'm almost willing to bet Bizzle was at the Rainbow Shores, you know, just taking the entire beach, that entire area, getting all the fish on. Here's a team, though, that did fairly well. I mean, honestly, it really set the stage up for everyone else in the lobby, taking out Zexro, Macwood, Young Kalki in the previous run. It was Ninja, Colazo, and Vivid. If it wasn't for them, the competition wouldn't be as close at the top. Young Kalk, Zex, and Macwood might be walking their way to free 25K, but no, that's not the case here. Punisher setting up a very interesting base right now, coning it out, and they're off. They have their chopper. They're going on a little mission to go probably get some resource right now and bring it back.
Oh my goodness. We are now seeing the full effect of the different loot pool in the normal game mode, because everybody's in choppers. They're making fake bases using the comp things, and then also taking their helicopter right back down the mountain to start fishing out the side of the coast. Definitely nice there. Here's Assaults, Unknown, and Kanata. And this is a scary helicopter to be in. Chat talked about how he got 2 controller players and he was going to start flying them around, but Kanata also clearly taking that advice and seeing that tweet say yes, because Assault and Unknown are some of the best to ever do it. And Kanata getting low, I think they definitely want to be beaming people out of this.
That's right, and don't forget, just because they're in the chopper doesn't mean they're safe and sound, guys. These things are very much fragile vehicles here. Just a couple players opening fire like this, and that'll spell disaster. And yeah, they do end up crashing there. So Keys finds a bunch of tags here. They're still in somewhat of the same location we last tuned in with them, down here, kind of on that island location. Kanata saw an Unknown lose the chopper, though, and they're off to the ground.
Imad, his team is winning.
Probably looking to play for center zone. Remember,
They got
the zone
51
is way
points.
southeast, guys. They have to come
And
all the way
Bizzle
down to
and
this
Mega.
bottom portion. And the
Those are the
minute,
3
though,
guys
it'll
who
reveal
will
the
have
next
the
chunk
lead.
of land that they have to play for. And with Misty Meadows now.
These zones get so shook up with the patch earlier this week. Covers a wider area. The first zone slightly shorter, but it makes up for it with an extra one in between. So everybody adjusting to that too. And you can see some teams opting to fight a little bit more. So zone's slightly slower in general. Here's Funk, Bully, and Nate. We saw them earlier. He's already got 7 floppers in the inventory. Funk still playing for the meta, for the formats. And like I said, things slowed right down after this, so I don't think they have to really even worry too much about fights breaking out.
They do have to be careful, though. There are players nearby. It's AV and chat who are up here by the retail row, kind of, or just outside that little grotto kind of island over there. Little vacation house, the wood house up top. This is that lull moment of the mid game right now. There, the zone is going to finally show itself. You guys can see they're just inside of it, marking the next, I'm assuming, big mountain to play for. Yeah, they want to get in the middle. They want to get that height. So their final game, they're playing for another victory here. You know, Funk already took one this competition. Scoped and AV and Chap, though, working their way early. Yes, they are going to claim it first here.
And the switch has been flipped. They're no longer pushing down mountains. They're no longer pushing on top of people. They come right back to where they started things at the Grotto Mountain. Scoped with the heavy snipe. Actually, it was AV who got the heavy snipe. Look at all the elims actually in AV's hands. So well done from him. Obviously, that doesn't necessarily matter. They all contributed, and they've all got probably heavy snipers coming out of the Grotto. And that's something that we don't talk about, too, because we haven't had to think about it, is that the Grotto can actually support probably a full squad of 4. Definitely a squad of 3 in terms of really, really good loot.
One thing we haven't seen too much is the double heavy sniper being put into play either, right? So something to think about. So many different strategies in Fortnite to utilize, especially in the team-based modes. But wait, we got a whole fight going down here. Booga up on height right now. Stretch looking to come assist him and support him as they're jumping down into Kanata, Unknown Army, and Assaults here. What a dangerous trio to be going up against. This is probably something we'll see later on as the season kind of continues. So let's see who can best the first right now. Start setting up these proximity mines. choke pointing anyone inside the base, and it is going to work right there. It's going to find Kanata's going to get hit once right there. You can see his HP's low. Setting more up now. It's kind of crazy here. And yep, Kanata is going to get taken out. Just like that. Booga's going to find the shot. Kamama's going to find assaults, and everyone gets wiped up now. That fight's over.
That was way easier than I expected for Booga, Stretch, and Commandment. Leading into that fight, it was against Assault, Unknown, and Kanata. And yeah, sure, they might not be having the most effective day in terms of points. But even on both sides, I would say, still, they just cleaned that up, mopped it up instantly. That was well done from them. And they're actually going to get the loot to be able to continue possibly another aggressive play. Booga, Stretch, and Commandment have done that game after game, and we're now down to 14 teams. So what we're used to seeing, which is, you know, players kind of, or teams falling a little bit, but always leaving one solo up alive, is not actually happening in this game. The full wipes are occurring.
That's right. You saw Young Cal, Zexro Mac was still in the game. Your third place team right now. Definitely having to kind of be a little more cautious now not to throw the entire run here. AV and Chap have their eyes on them, and they have the natural height, though. Just look at the way the arrows are poised up right there. We'll see if we can jump back into that action in just a bit here. We're going to the other side now. Things are unfolding here in Retail Row. Nate Hill, Funk, and Bully are on the heels of 72 Sap and Zate, who are poised up at the basement house right now. Shots are coming in. Bully's only under wood right now. They're trying to pierce through all the builds. It's a sketchy situation to be in. Another rocket.
Chase him away, chase him down too, out of Retail Row. This house completely erased, leveled from the ground up. And Nate Hill getting out of Dodge, going right up north, and team's starting to get a little congested on that mountain. We know Chap, AV, and Scoped are up there already. Bully, Nate Hill, and Funk might be joining them shortly if the way that this is playing out with Zate Saf and 72 Hours pushing them right back. It looks like they're going to base up there, though.
That means the arrows off to the left of the mountain might be Young Cal, Zexro, and Macwood trying to squeeze around the back half of the mountain. So all of a sudden you have these powerhouse trios really falling and formulating into one another here. You can see just beyond the kind of right there how many other players. No, it's Stretch, Booga, and Commandment who ended up getting close to the mountain. You can see what happens when you do that natural elevation, really playing favor to AV and Chap, and they're already down one now. Commandment out. Downed right now. Trying to turn things around here. Stretch is going to get in the box with someone. The drum gun. Perfect situation to be in. Now Chap, all of a sudden, the tables have been turned. As Scope jumps in to save Chap here. Now it's just left to Booga, and Booga finds the big shot on Scope, and Scope returns the favor. And it's not going to be enough. Booga actually clutches up right there, saving things for his crew. And now the third party, Zexro, Macwood, Cal, as they kind of masterfully waited behind now, managed to be on the hunt here for Booga, who they might know is Solo Dolo.
That they might. He's going to get the revive off on Commandment. No, they find him. They get the wall, and Booga tried to stick it to bring up Commandment, but the timing was perfect. And look at that for Zexro, who already has 7 floppers. For Macwood and Cal, who probably have some too. They've just found 2 stacks more, and that's going to be huge leading into this endgame, especially if they can take height like they did in games 1, 2, and 3. If they can hold on to that, there's potential here for another big game out of this team.
One thing to think about, that kind of pickup onto Commandment is huge. That's another point that they get in their favor right now. Remember, they had 7 points to take first, so kind of pulling away with a cheeky additional elim right there because Booga got the revive off, so that turns into 2 for that team now, making it a 5-point difference. We'll see, though. Here's Punisher. Nick A30 in replays hitting some huge ramp-ups over 72. And his crew down below, and they're jumping right in. They want a piece of the action. Looks like everyone, like we said, is getting so proactive here now. It's going to be Retail Row endgame. A couple of the mountains on the outskirts, all in the zone. But it doesn't matter. The way the zone kind of works here now, it's very likely to kind of end towards that drop that you see on the map on the bottom right-hand corner. Saf, though, leaves his front open, and he's going to get hit twice there now by Reverse 2K, who's by himself, no longer has keys and slacks in the game here. Not even sure if he has the reboot cards either. Can't quite tell just yet. This is such a weird situation to be in. He's just trying to see if he can sneak away with anything right now. It's gonna be the God nades though from Cypher PK that take out Saf.
Yeah, 72 hours, and Zay were dangerously close to that too, but they got the space at least to get away. Nice snipe from Nick. 30 onto Hogman, former teammates too, in competitive events. And he takes him down, possibly getting the finish. Where is it going to be? 11 teams only at this stage of the game, Monster. This is definitely a lot lighter and going to be a lot more room for people to fight and work their magic.
Don't forget, Reverse 2K just looking into the battle, giving them all just more issue to worry about. Even as a solo, you can see the kind of how a third party firing in can really make things weird for any players. Arkram manages to take height from Nick 30 and crew though, as they now jump into a whole battle. You can see Rex here jumping into replays now. They don't care if they're on the West Ping. They're here to fight. They've been so proactive all the way through. I think they were in second place, right? Leading into this or something like that. Somewhere up there regardless though. Epic Whale is going to find Punisher. Arkram's going to find replays respectively. That's what's happening here as players are getting taken out.
My biggest questions now is where is Sent to the Edgy and Riversan, and where is Emad, Bizzle, and Mega? Because I haven't seen them in quite some time. Obviously, Epic Whale, Arkram, and Rex, you talked about them a moment ago. They're here. I think they're probably going to be on that north side of the map. There's also players launch padding in or coming in from the grotto. We're going to base up on the blacktops of Retail Row. Saw Zypha, Ewok, and crew. Epic Whale, though, in this position right here, has to move in a little bit farther north to get in. And I'm wondering if that's actually going to be detrimental, although there's a lot of house. I don't know if there's actually been build fights throughout there. And yes, apparently there has been. Look at this base that they have up above. Plenty of time to actually make this work.
And remember, guys, there is a 999 material cap. So you can see that they're not afraid to build these monstrous bases outwards and over, just loom over everyone in the game, especially out of metal. Macwood, though, 8 floppers in the inventory. We know they came up big on Booga and Commandment before. They're looking to put pressure onto Ninja, Colazo, and Vivid, who are hanging out just here to the side. Brutus's minigun is going to be the weapon of choice right now. Here's the other perspective.
Weapon of choice. That might win them the tournament, Monster. I mean, you talk about events that end up, you know, leading into big things. Zexro, Calc, and Macwood cleaned up Booga, right? Who had just cleaned up Scope, Davy, and Chap. So now they have Brutus's minigun on top of all the fish that they got on that too. And also coming off the mountain, they have the potential of God ramp over Retail Row and possibly now here be on high ground with the minigun and with floppers too. This is a dangerous situation if you're Scented, Edgy, and crew who are down below. We saw them in one of the houses at Retail Row.
That is a winning formula. We'll see what they manage to do with it. The zone's going to pull across, though, from everyone on that back half, that northern side. So Macwood and Zexro and them are going to have to cross, as will Ninja. Colazo, they're going to low pad in, so in come Ninja, Colazo, and Vivid. But Zexro is putting that pressure down from here with a heavy sniper, really getting into the mix of the fights here. He's going to set his launch pad up. He's trying to take a stab at the height right now, and this is what you spoke about. If they can get the high ground with the minigun, that is the formula right there to really take this victory away. Guys, this is the last game of the day right now. These are the final moments. We're approaching that Endgame right now. Vivid and Ninja are in the back half of Colazo here on the zone, trying to inch their way up as well. They have height now.
They've got heights and still the zone too, so they could potentially hold this. They could make it again. Remember, they took out Zexro in the last game, possibly the entire trio. And also Zexro down again. Young Cal frantically trying to throw him in the zone so that he can get this revive off. It is going to work, but do they actually have shields to carry? Because it looks like their entire inventory is floppers. Meanwhile, Ninja, Colazo, and crew are going to stop that possibility of a high ground play by that opponents, because they're definitely way up high and they're controlling a lot of space here from left to right on the map.
You got to think about it, that advantage they had with all those extra fish. I mean, they're going to have to use him now to heal up Zexro, so slowly falling behind, slowly losing the lead. They still have so much more work to do if they want to take first place. It's close competition right now. The RPG's coming in, though. We call those grief rockets. They're just sending them from across the map. No care in the world. Not like they can do much in their current position now. Ewok, Zypha, Avery looking for more action, though. Benny lighting up the feed. AV's lighting up the feed. Commandment is too.
Commandment's still up in this game, by the way. It's definitely interesting because given what we saw out of Booga and Stretch, there's Macwood, Zexro, and Calc. They're starting to make their play for high ground. They have the mats for it, so might as well. It's all working out right now. They're going to launch pad, though, and that could be huge. Although Macwood with Brutus's minigun, this is the key. He can pressure off. Zexro was landed up above Epic Whale, Arkram, and Crew, so they've got it. Meanwhile, by the way, we got the overview. We see Scented, Edgy, and Riversun down below, but what we do not see is Mega, Bizzle, and Emad. We have not seen them a single time yet. They could still be alive, but I have inklings that they might not be.
That was actually a really good take at high ground right there. They sent Zexro by himself with Macwood to apply pressure on Team Ninja here. Now Ninja's crew is late with the rotate. And this is what Macwood was there for, to sit behind and make it that much more difficult. Little does know, it's Zexro and Young Kalk already poised up and situated. That minigun, even from this far, so devastating. You can see Ninja gets taken off the high ground now. He's forced into low. And yes, Colazo gets taken out. Vivid gets taken out now. Ninja, by himself, has to do something big. He has to survive. Can he pull something off the way Funk did? Just squeeze away any points here towards the end game. Zone moving so slow now. Jumps in a cone and just save face to try and stay alive for just a little bit longer. 9 teams remaining here, Bala. This is it. The zone will be collapsing on top of itself here shortly now.
This is it. Huge games potentially. There's Rex, Epic Whale, and Arkram, who were in 8th place. Ewok still up, by the way, in 7th place at 28 points before this game. Potential there. Macwood, Zexro, and Kalk, though. What they need to do is 7 points to overtake Mega and Cruz. I think it's pushed by Bully right in the box. Nate Hill there too. They clean up that squad. So Nate Hill and crew, who are in 5th at 35 points, have the potential as well to push up. But we're looking at Scented, Edgy, and Riversun right in front of Ninja right now, who's still, by the way, by himself. Don't forget. So potential for him to rise up the ranks with this last game, it could be huge. They're starting to get to the placement point thresholds too, and 9 teams remaining right now. I'm still looking for Mega and Bizzle. I don't see them. I think they're out, which means a huge opportunity for this team and the team on height of Edgy, Scented, and Crew, and Zexro, Macwood, and Kalk.
That's right. They don't have a single elim, so these are so crucial to grab right now in order to close the gap, because we know high ground squad is being very active. Look at that. Already 3 elims closing the gap. Might just be tied up with them right now, to be honest. We'll see, though. This is going to be a very close competition. Who's going to be able to steal away the $25,000 for first place? So much money on the line every single week right now. These are the plays, though. These are the big plays that are going to matter right now. That minigun is not only finding its mark with damage, but also just chipping away at all the builds at everyone, giving them so much more to worry about, to focus about. And remember, Kalk will be jumping down soon. We've done it time and time again. Whenever they get into these end games, he manages to find his mark whenever he does find himself here. We'll see, though. Here's Edgy. Still no eliminations for this crew, Bala. They need them.
That they do. They need them, but they only need to beat out Macwood, Kalk, and Zexro right now, because I think the placement points will be enough to overtake Bizzle and Crew, though. We don't know how many eliminations they got in the game. This is it. The final moments. We're in the last zone. 7 teams up. And it's not just 7 teams. Everybody has at least basically 2 players alive. Epic Whale, 5 eliminations. He finds Saf. That's the end of Saf in 72 hours, at least in this game. Arkham's still up. He takes out Zexro. Here's Brutus's minigun on high for Macwood, just raining down, but he's already lost both of his members. So these floppers that he has up above, which right now stands at 16, are going to be huge, but he gets beamed down in HP, 50 lost. So that's a whole flopper gone, and that actually matters when it comes down to these heal ops. The player down now. Ninja in with Riversun. 2 down on the low ground. He's actually getting 1, but Mr. Wiggles, which is Scented, holds on, and he has a flopper, bunch of slurpfish, and the bandage bazooka.
They went from no eliminations up to 4. Is it going to be enough in there? He finally gets taken out. No more placement points to be given out. Epic Whale is going to pick up that 1 kind of heal there. And you can see it's a 1v1 situation. We know Macwood's probably on height with all the heals. Yes, of course he is. He probably needs this elim, though. 5 only in the inventory. We'll see if it was enough. The Victory Royale, of course, is going to be the 10 points total. This is going to be a close competition at the top, Bala.
That it is, and I cannot wait to see the highlights here, because Ninja dropped down and took out Scented, Edgy and Riverstone, or at least started the demise of them so that Epic Whale could finish things off. And it is his tournament, even though he might not be at the top. He has huge implications for the rest of it and who actually wins, because I think that we might have an inkling that it might be Zexro and Calc up on the top. Who knows? They won the game again after. Did they win any games today? I know they lost against Funk Bomb in that 1-1, but I mean, so many things out of Zexro, Calc, and Macwood to praise. I mean, that was a fantastic run.
Yeah, and that's what we expected from this trio, specifically a veteran trio. Nonetheless, still all around good games. And like Ninja kind of mentioned before things kind of kicked off, it's all for good fun. We're going to be seeing a lot of these names come back and back. So the story, the rivalries, they'll continue week after week. Right now, though, it is a question of who is in first place right now. Being that we didn't see EMAD, we didn't see Bizzle, we didn't see Mega, not even in the mid game. I would only assume they were taken out early amongst us following all the other action. They were actually, struck down.
We saw them in the early game, but that was basically it. So they must have, when they made that rotation on the Bizzle, we didn't see them since then. So I don't even know if they made it over to Retail Row. Possibly Unknown and Kanata pushed them possibly around in that area around Lazy Lake, because that's where they had to kind of pass through. So who knows? But a lot up in the air, Monster. I have really no guesses as how this is going to end up, because the eliminations really do play a big factor and big key into how these points are going to end. But I have to say, really fun tournament overall. I'm super thankful to be here providing you guys the coverage, and also thankful for the tournament organizers, Ninja and his crew, for Ninja Battles. And this is only the first out of 6, Monster.
Yeah, it's only going to go up and up from here. And as am I, thankful. This has been a crazy competition. Shout out to you for carrying the torch at the start there as well. I mean, it has been quite the day overall, but the sea has settled now and things are kind of cruising along here. Guys, the leaderboards are, of course, being worked on right now. The replays are being cooked up. So if you guys are kind of on the edge of your seat for who took this kind of all the way, we are too. There is no clear winner just yet. It has been close so far. What's on the line here? What's at stake is $25,000 for first place. Big prizing. Put yourself in their shoes, right? The difference between first and second is 15,000. So it's quite a lot there.
That it is, and the difference between first and second is only a couple points. Let's take a look at the highlights of that last game. Yes, it started off with a bang, at least in comparison to everyone else, or at least every other game, because we saw fights in Retail Row. We saw this, Chap AV and Scope pushing in quickly onto two teams, multiple teams back to back to back, and then eventually ended up going down to a big fight outside of Retail Row, but we'll get to that. Here's AV with his 4 elims out of the early game. Definitely impressive.
Yeah, we actually didn't get to see that perspective, so it kind of shows you the difference on the roundabout here. Here's the headshot that Bala was talking about earlier as Bucky takes one for the team right there just on the crossover. He gets clipped one time. Such a fun competition so far. I want to once again welcome and thank all you guys for tuning in to Ninja Battles Week 1 right here. It has been so crazy, Bala.
Yeah, it has, and I know we're pushing through the end of the replays there, but I just saw in that fight, Booga and Stretch, I saw Bizzle go down the zone, so they got caught maybe in a storm fight or something like that, because they were down and out before this stage of the game right here where they needed to be, and this was it. Epic Whale going down against Scented in the final moments. You remember Ninja right before this cleaning things up, but there it is. That will basically cement the tournament. But 9 eliminations, Monster, we were talking about how that could have an impact. It could be huge going forward. But finally, Macwood wins the game with the floppers that he had because of how aggressive everybody else played.
It was kind of crazy. Someone pushed Macwood on height too, right? So he didn't get it for free, not by a mile. Once again, being forced to build out with no weapons. That was probably one of the more exciting things we saw today. Oddly enough, right? Amidst all the things that kind of went down here. And again, guys, the leaderboards are being worked on. They're almost kind of ready for you guys. What a interesting last game too. A close one in this series of competition right now. So Bala, I got to ask you, what do you think is going to kind of be happening as the weeks go on, as the mode changes to arenas? What's up?
I think that we're going to see, I don't know, we will possibly see mix-ups in teams. I mean, the captains have the option to switch things up week after week and invite different players. So we could see different teams. We could also see multiple same teams. I think Zexro, Calc, and Macwood, if the way that I think it's going to go for them today goes in their favor, I think they might swing at it again next week when we go back at it with trios. So that could be exciting too. And there's just going to be more. I think everybody's going to start to, solidify their plans there. I mean, the meta, how it's going into this, playing with 20 teams only is something exciting too, that players have to make adjustments to. So it's just going to get better and better from here, Monster.
That's right. And you guys at home can jump into the discussion. Use that hashtag Ninja Battles. I seen it being thrown around there. So drop your feels on what you thought of the competition. And only remember, things are just going to amplify from here on out. And guys, there was a tie for first. So we are kind of working through the tiebreaker right now. This is why we wanted to kind of wait and let it marinate, right? Like, because you really want to make sure we're announcing this correctly when we do. That's how close it was, Bala.
Wow.
It was that tight.
That is crazy. And I'm trying to think about what the tiebreaker could be, because we obviously don't know what happened to Bizzle and Mega. So it's pointless to speculate, but my goodness, is that, very nice end to what was a hype day overall. I mean, starting off with the first two games, it was like, oh, Heel Off is actually really fun to watch. And then as things slowed down, we started to get a little, cooled off with the Heel Off thing. And then we bounced right back up to have a tie game at the end of the tournament. We have to go down to tiebreakers. That's insane.
Yeah, I mean, and we talked about, like, did Cal, Zexro, Mac pull a victory royale? We know how much that weighs when it comes down to tiebreakers and whatnot. The second place team that was in a running, right? You had like Scented up there. Did they pull one? That's really a question at hand here. And here we go, guys. Leaderboards are underway. Who is going to be your number one? And started things off backwards. Didn't expect that. So we get to get a little build up here, Bala.
That we do. And we can see all the performances today and how everybody's going to adjust things moving in to the next day. Here's the 11th to 15th team. Cypher, PK, Hogman, and Biddy end up in 11th. 72 Hours, Zayt, and Saf, surprisingly to me, at least in 12th place. Nick A 13th. Ninja ending in 14th after the last two games being the best games. 11 points and then 6 points to clutch up not only placement by Ninja, but also a bunch of eliminations.
Don't forget, guys, top 12 was the cutoff for the prizing. So all of these teams are winners in some regard. And, respect as we approach now would be the most exciting part. Who took the Ninja Battles event week 1 right now? We are going to find out. And here it is. The players are loading in. And oh my gosh, it was Zexro Macwood, the young calculator at the top there. The most points in the last game, 15, Bala.
Wow. I mean, that is ridiculous. That is clutch. They had so many things going for them. Of course, the game 4 performance wasn't the best of the best, but they still make it work because their average points were just so high regardless of that. And then with the Victory Royale too, I'm not sure exactly what the tiebreakers are, so I don't want to speak too much to it, but they definitely had basically everything working for them. The fragging in towards the end game, the plays with the floppers to win games, and there you have it. Zexro, Macwood, and Calc are your week 1 Ninja Battles winners.
Gotta show some respect and love to that. And man, for Bizzle, Mega, and Emad to not get a single point in that last one, what a heartbreaking kind of turn of events for them as they had the lead in the competition. But consistency is gonna pay itself off right there as you guys see it all unfold on the leaderboard.
And so that is the conclusion of that. We are going to see if we can speak to one of the winners. Of course, we want to add some spice and personality to this tournament as well. So we'll see if that can actually go through. But Monster, it was a great day. I mean, your thoughts on basically everything. Most memorable moments, that's what I want to hear right now.
Yeah, man, this is just a start, the foundation for what is going to be the Ninja Battles. The battles that are going to unfold as the weeks go on are only going to get more and more intense. Memorable moments for me, like I said, was that exciting kind of early moment where Funk came out of nowhere. Ops playing a little joke on us. We thought it was all over. Full swing of event right there. Kind of exciting for us to kind of cast over. It was very fun.
That was a funny game too, because we get the reveal of how many. We obviously were watching Macwood and Zexro and Calc because they were in the lead, and then they took high ground again, and we reveal Macwood's inventory, and it's, I don't remember how many, 16, 20, something like that, some ridiculous number. We're like, okay, nobody can beat that. I mean, it's GG's. Let's walk away. We already know who wins. And then Funk comes out of nowhere with more, and we didn't see the inventory, but he outlasted by a large margin because 8 floppers by the time Macwood was gone. That's ridiculous, man. That's ridiculous.
That was a good
And when
tournament,
you get
guys.
to recall the strategy, Calculator was going down, taking all the fights, winning those engagements, and then literally delivering back the fish up to height. You saw him throwing them up through the little hole that they kind of had set up there. So really fishing things out. Like we said, guys, we are trying to see if we can line up some conversation with the champs right now. So we'll see if we can round up anyone right now. And that's why we're hanging out right now. If you guys are wondering, these events are happening for the next several weeks, every Thursday from here forward. So continue to tune in. I think July 2nd might be the last date of this kind of form of Ninja Battles event, but I'm sure not the last. Things have been very, very fun. And we are mentioning that it is going to get crazier as the arena mode comes around, as the season changes. We'll be seeing so much more crazy competition unfold.
Oh man, and looking forward to that too. It's like we don't know what the heck is going to go down. Obviously, Fortnite likes to spice things up, and with the way that they did season 2, there's definitely some adjustments and that people had to, figure out how to play around. And I think that's definitely going to be a big one moving forward. So we'll see that unfold live in this tournament. So week after week, it's going to be exciting. We do have an interview with Zexro, so let's go ahead and get him up on screen. Or I don't know if it's on screen or not. I don't know if we're hearing him right now. It is audio only. Zexro,
hello?
What's up, man?
Oh, hello, Bala.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic, man. You killed it today. That was absolutely awesome. I mean, strategy from start to finish was unbelievable. How did you guys plan for this? You guys knew exactly what to do.
Oh yeah, we knew exactly what to do. It's just like season 5, but with fish instead of medkits, so.
How'd you guys feel like taking home a big 25K? Something to add to your resume. You guys are, of course, the reigning champs as trios. You guys continue to take that or plan on taking that into the new season?
Oh yeah, of course. That's why we played with Young Calc. We set our issues aside. Only trying to take home the W.
So is that something we're going to see? I mean, looking forward, you guys are the trios champs. We're going to have FNCS trios again. Is that going to be the trio going forward?
Yeah, it is. There's just some issues. No one really likes Calc, and Macwood gets heavy sniped in the head a lot. So we'll see what happens. I don't place in solos, so we'll see.
Oh man, little team friction there, but you guys always keep it interesting, and that's what we appreciate, you guys. Obviously, want to congratulate you guys for taking home the victory this first week. I wouldn't be surprised you guys continue to kind of dominate the competition leading into the new season. I wanted to ask you, are you excited for the new season? Kind of how, what's to come, knowing Epic? Things are going to get a little crazy. Are you ready for it?
Yeah, I'm really excited for the new season. I mean, I kind of like the helicopters. I feel like they should keep them in arena. Like, it actually adds something I don't know. It's like ballers, but it's like more skillful. Like the heli gets shot down. I don't know. I like them. They helped us a lot that game.
So, Zexro, what can we expect going forward in the next Ninja Battles? Of course, next week is going to be a big one. You guys clearly looking like the favorites. I mean, going into this was close, though. Are we expecting another win next week?
Yeah, most likely. I mean, so what I had to do, since I picked who I play with, I'm having them pay me 20% of what they won because I picked them. So I don't know about next week, but I'm probably gonna keep the same deal. So I mean, I'm just making money out of this.
He's trying to farm the cash prize from the teammates. Hey man, I'm not gonna get into the politics. You do you, boo. You get your squad together. But no, all jokes aside, I definitely am interested in kind of watching you guys continue to perform. You guys are definitely one of the more exciting trios to watch. Any final shout outs, questions, or projects you're working on that we want to give you the floor, of course, to shout yourself out here?
Nah, not really working on anything. Hopefully I do good in solos, but last FNCS didn't go too well, but I just made more than top 9 in it, so everyone that didn't place in top 10 can suck my dick. They're fucking shitters. I don't know why they talk shit. They're actually also dog shit and brain dead. That's all I'm saying.
All right, and that's going to conclude that one right there. Thanks for joining us here. But regardless of what, it has been very interesting Ninja Battles event today, Bala. Any final words from you before we turn on out?
Dude, awesome. Congratulations to the winners. That was fantastic. That was so much fun to watch. And I can't wait for more, basically. We got 6 more weeks of this, or 5 more weeks of this. Can't wait for it to come.
All right, guys, want to thank you guys all for tuning in. Of course, week 1 of the Ninja Battles event. Tune in here for more action. Get to follow on your way out. It's Monster D-Face, Ball TW. Catch you guys next week.